evening, and welcome back to this episode of Shtick with Koolfrogg Live. Cancel hatred with me.
Hey, what's going on? Eat the beef.
YOLO. Eat the beef for sure. When it comes down to it, it's y'all's Thursday. It's y'all's Thursday. It's my weird ass Tuesday. It is what it is. We have the tendency to try doing as much as we can, but because of lack of time, and I had a shadow with me today. A new guy. He was actually decent. I'm excited that this guy will actually be there. He'll do the job correctly. I don't have to worry about the department not being done when I'm not there.
Right.
It's exciting. It's exciting to actually see something like that occur. Thank you, Sunshines, for following this channel. Much appreciation there. Brad Williams, what's going on? We live in the right now society. Okay, there, Diana Ross. I mean, kinda, don't we? Right now society. It is what it is. Cartoon of the day. How the devil did you manage to convince the government to increase defense spending? I told them the invasion would threaten the welfare budget. I mean, if you can't threaten your citizenry to pay for your war needs, what good are you as a leader?
Right. How effective are you as a government agency?
You really seriously need to step it up a little bit if that's the case. But
Yeah, but countries like Britain or the UK, they exist, right? I always forget which is which. Is it that Britain is the group of countries, or is it UK that's the country? I don't know. Whatever. Yeah. All they try to do.
The United Kingdom. I would assume the United Kingdom would be the group, the United Group.
Right.
And then the Britain would be just like London and the rest of whatever island not consistent of Scotland
and Ireland.
Right.
And
because Ireland's not really attached.
That other weird one, which is actually kind of part of Britain, but
kind of sort of attached.
Yeah, where the prince the king comes from now. Wales, that's the one.
Right, Wales. So Jack 1365. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Jack. Welcome to the show. Happy Killdozer Day, everybody.
Yeah, right. Happy Killdozer Day. I see you got cancel communist China on your thing, or whatever, for the day. Tiananmen Square. Yeah, right. There's things to go along with the day, and disturbing things to go along with the day for sure. It's okay. It's okay. I don't really like the whole Tiananmen Square thing or whatever, because you get into like who was there and what was going on, and those that like to celebrate it as something of something good, like Tim Walz, Tampon Tim's disgusting. Just saying. House passes authorizing new Ukraine aid. Russia sanctions. Well,
who is in whose pocket here?
Wait a minute. I thought we were done.
So did I. We haven't given him money.
Funding this.
When was the last time we gave him money? It's been a while, hasn't it? Or maybe we just haven't heard about it.
I think it's been a while, but yeah, that could be the thing too. Is just haven't heard of it for a while. Lawmakers voted 226 to 195 to pass a bill, dubbed the Ukraine Support Act. This is just out of the House, so it's got to go to the Senate anyway. Just saying. Not that they can't probably get enough to swing it. The U.S. House of Representatives voted in June 4th for a bill making available $8 billion in loans. In loans? Do they have to pay these loans back? That's technically what a loan is. You'd have to pay it back.
Otherwise, you're just giving them the money.
Otherwise, it's a gift.
Right.
The bill's House passage represents a breakthrough for the first major bill directing Ukraine related aid during President Donald Trump's second term in office. House Republicans' leadership has opposed the efforts, instead, calling for further coordination with the White House and matters relating to war between Russia and Ukraine. Gregory Meeks, Democrat out of New York, first introduced the legislation in April of 2025, but the House Republican leadership took no steps to advance the bill to the floor vote. No shit. But then all of a sudden they go ahead and they vote on this, and you're like, how did it pass 226 to 195? Who voted on that? Who voted on that? How many Republicans? The bill names 13 Russian financial institutions and sets a deadline for the president to impose financial sanctions. And at least three such institutions. The sanctions framework also targets Russia's Rosatom State Nuclear Energy Corporation and Russia's mineral extraction industry. They're going after, business to try
Well,
and lock them down.
yeah, the good news is this hasn't passed the Senate yet.
Right. This is just the House.
Right. So maybe we'll get rescued after all. I'm not holding my breath. I'd be blue, dead on the
There,
floor.
there's your answer to your last question. Since 2022, Congress has approved $195 billion to Ukraine-related funding.
They don't even get up on a pole and dance. What are we doing?
Right? Do something for us. I mean, oh wait, you can go watch him play piano with his penis if you really want.
Ugh.
Yeah, right.
I guess that's getting on a pole and dancing, but not the kind I want to see.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
wrong
see the
pole.
other kind
Wrong
either.
pole.
Definitely not that kind.
Why is Ukraine so eager to start a new war? Why is this a new war all of a sudden? Huh? For
When
the
did the
first
other
time in a
one
long
end?
time, Belarus has again found itself at the center of Ukraine
Oh,
conflict. For more than a month, Vladimir Zelensky has been warning Ukrainians about supposed threat from the north. Minsk, he claims, is preparing to enter the war, and he's even threatened Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko with either a preemptive strike or a kidnapping in the style of Nicolas Maduro.
what
The Red-
the? This guy needs to get off the cocaine.
Get it.
He may have the gusto of Trump, but Trump has the U.S. military to back it up. What do you got? Drones? You're going to fly 20 drones down there and strap them up to 20 tiny little drones and fly them out? What are you doing here?
We're gonna go and kidnap you. They're
Yeah.
gonna. He just threatened to kidnap Lukashenko. The rhetoric has now reached the point where Zelensky has ordered preparations of a circular defense of the cities of Ukrainians' northern regions, including Kiev itself. Meanwhile, French President Emmanuel Macron has called Lukashenko for the first time since 2022, apparently to persuade him not to enter the conflict. The problem is that nothing. Why? Because if he enters the conflict, Emmanuel Macron has no choice but to enter it himself on the other side of it,
As
and
part of
he doesn't want that.
agreement, wasn't it? Yeah.
Right,
Part of it.
right.
Yeah.
Everybody's all having got their stuff stuck so far up Zelensky's butt that they can't help themselves. They're like, well, I mean, if they do it, we're going to have to actually urge you to not call you for the first time in a couple of years. Why haven't you talked to this man? Why isn't that you've even tried to talk to this man in the last couple of years at all? You're just
He's
like,
very busy ducking left hooks from his wife.
Belarus. Yes, White Russia. Oh my God, kind of a
White
henta. That's what Belarus means. White Russia.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, kind of
All
like
right.
henta. It will just go away after the first statement of it being real. Hmm. But yeah, means White Russia. It's kind of odd. kind of odd, but it's indeed what it is. The problem is that nothing visible is happening to the Belarusian side of the border. There's no mobilization and no unusual concentration of Belarusian forces, and no redeployment of Russian units. The only recent event that could be stretched into a military signal was last week's Russian Belarusian nuclear exercise, but even that took place in the um, Ospovochi district in the center of Belarus and was more about strategic deterrence in any ground operation against Ukraine. The more obvious question is why Lukashenko would want to join the military operation at all. Such a move would be wholly out of character for him and would run against the geopolitical role he has tried to carve out of Belarus. Yeah, but he kind of had something to do with the after the Wagner group went ahead and attempted to do something. He went ahead and he was on the other side of that. He took the Wagner group into Belarus for a short time before the Wagner group took themselves to Africa, and then as they were flying back into Russia, got shot down. You know, that insurrectionist group. What up, Trucker John? Long time no see. Yeah, that's because I took off from the YouTube side. I was over on the Rumble side exclusively for the last 2 years. 2 years I took off from YouTube. Fuck YouTube. Lukashenko has always sought to preserve room and maneuver, as he kept doing so after 2020, when he became a de facto persona non grata of the West, and even after the conflict escalated in 2022, and the Ukrainian crisis, Belarus has remained largely a passive observer in the agreement and largely, but not only, not exclusively, just largely. And that arrangement has suited Moscow. For Russia, he's a valuable diplomatic asset, not a military one. Of course, a repeated February 2022 thrust toward Kiev may sound tempting in theory, but with all due respect to Belarus, its army is not suited for the role of battering ram, especially in conditions of modern warfare dominated by drones and constant surveillance. Could the reverse be true? Perhaps Zelensky is preparing to strike Belarus first, overthrow Lukashenko, and open a second front against Russia. His pointed invitation to the fugitive opposition leader Svetlana, I'm not even going to attempt, gives the theory of certain surface logic, but the military reality makes it deeply implausible. If you can't pronounce it, don't try butchering it. Her name's Svetlana. The Ukrainian armed forces' last major offensive operation was the incursion of Russia's Kursk region. To mount it, Kiev gathered more than 30,000 troops, weakening the positions of Donbass and losing large areas where, as a result, even then, the operation failed to produce a decisive strategic outcome. A serious attack on Belarus would require far more resources. Since then, Ukraine's army has weakened further and its present ceiling of local counterattacks on Donbass, so it's in no position to open a major new front. But if it wants to, it can do what it wants. If Ukraine decides to spend its money that it's getting from us, where it decides, who are we to tell them now? Exactly, we're just the lender. He gets to spend it where he wants. We're just the lender. No say.
We're just the gifter. And he's he's the grifter.
Jack says, I like white Russians. Very tasty. Interesting. Interesting thought. Vodka. Like yourself some vodka at times, Cancel?
No. Not really. No. If it was super expensive and smooth, then yes. If it was really good vodka, I would partake. Not excessively with it. I just still didn't like it that much. But most of the time, it was, yeah, no.
No.
The darker liquors mostly.
I had my daughter's Ma at the time when I was drinking vodka because the the whiskey wasn't agreeing with her.
Mm,
So I started drinking some vodka to kind of change the attitude a little bit or whatever.
right.
And I had her making me purple nipples in a big glass.
Okay.
Because what's better with some vodka than a bunch of flavored liquor that would actually go ahead and, make it taste purple, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
Kahlua and milk? Yeah, I mean, not so into the milk with liquor. Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah. Me neither. The more
Sounds
more things you add to it, the less I was likely to drink it. A whiskey and coke I'll do all day. Uh, I liked a lot of scotches, just single malt, double malt, triple malt scotches, and just sipping on them. You know, enjoying them. But you get two, three of those tops, and you're shit faced. Unless
just
you're
seeing if there's really anything that was worthwhile finishing this article for while you were talking there. I mean, not really. Nothing that's like, oh my gosh, we should hit on that. Um, it is pretty much it was an opinion piece from someone on RT or whatever, and I appreciate them for attempting to explain some of that to us.
Captain
Because
Morgan and Coke. Yeah, did that
I
for a
did,
while.
yeah, I've done some of the spiced. I didn't really care for the
I didn't like the
spice.
spice stuff. And by the way, Jägermeister is the devil. Germany should be
Mm.
retried during the Nuremberg trials for inventing Jägermeister.
I just drink the Ramona Sambuca. The
Huh? Oh,
Sambuca. Sambuca
yeah.
is so much better. It's the same thing, but it's clear. So when it comes up clear as opposed to coming up black.
When I was in Las Vegas, there's a place there you can get absinthe.
Mm. You can get absinthe back in Minnesota.
Yeah, you want to talk about a messed up time? Do a shot of absinthe when you're walking down the strip in Las Vegas. Yeah, it's gonna. Things will happen.
I bet.
I remember it kicking in. It was somewhere near the big fountains out there, the Bellagio. Because I remember shortly after taking the shot, walking that way and watching the fountains on their hourly, whatever they do, they program and change them around, change the program so they dance or whatever. And that was a trip. That was a heck of a trip, watching all those lights at night sparkle. What do we got here?
Trump unveils $700 million investment in coal industry
Huh. Well, then, where is our
today.
favorite West Virginia coal miner's daughter? Where's she at?
Right? President Donald Trump announced $700 million in federal investment meant to support U.S. coal plants and export during an Oval Office ceremony today. We're taking historic actions to bring down the price of energy and the cost of living for all Americans with the power of clean, beautiful coal. In the terms of power, there's really nothing like it. Investments will support 42 coal mines and more than 14,000 jobs while saving Americans more than $50 billion in electricity costs. The federal government will provide 485 million to protect more than a dozen existing coal plants across 10 states: Arizona, Arkansas, Indiana, Kentucky, North Carolina, North Dakota, Oklahoma, Tennessee, West Virginia, and Wisconsin. This action will allow these facilities to invest in upgrades that will extend their operational lives for decades into the future and reinforce the reliability of our electric grid. Efforts to build new facilities and reopen others include $185 million to match private funds for the first new coal plant in the United States since 2013 in Alaska and West Virginia. Go ahead.
It mentioned Wisconsin there as being one
It
of the
did.
recipients for some mining operation, right?
Yeah, it's something of some sort.
Google AI bot says there is no operational coal mines in Wisconsin. Bum, bum, bum. I'm not saying either is right. I would be more apt to believe the
So the
article
federal
than,
government will provide $485 million to protect more than a dozen existing coal plants in 10 states, including Wisconsin.
oh, coal plants. Okay, yes, there is a coal plant down in the Fox Valley area I know of for specifically. It's probably more than that, but okay, that makes sense. I thought they said coal mines. My
Yeah, I was
bad.
gonna say I thought there was one in Wisconsin right across the river from Winona, like
Could
Buffalo,
have been. I
whatever,
mean, they're
Bluff
not big
Siding.
plants. They're not very large plants, but
Right,
they do
they're
provide a lot of
yeah,
electricity. But yeah,
yeah. Right off the Mississippi River, several of them.
sure
There's
that
one there.
makes
There's one up towards Red Wing, whatever that area.
And
Um,
the one I'm thinking of is in the Fox Valley area where you have the Fox River running from through Wisconsin. It's like one of the biggest rivers in Wisconsin as well.
right.
So, yeah,
Definitely. Definitely. Several of them that are in that location. This
probably
action will allow the facilities to invest in upgrades. So it'll give them abilities to make them larger, more powerful plants that will extend them into the future.
right, right.
It's kind of nice to realize, okay, he's trying to do something positive.
He's
Hopefully these allocated monies get to these places that need to
right.
be, and they build the things that are necessary to do what he's asking.
Yeah, for sure.
The move follows Trump's executive order in April elevating coal supplies and power generation of national security matter by invoking the Defense Production Act of 1950. Administration officials prioritized the coal industry immediately after taking the White House in January of 2025, with the president declared the national energy emergency shortly after the inauguration. Since then, cabinet leaders and agency heads have coordinated efforts to expand the coal industry, whose market share declined steeply with a peak of about 50% of the domestic energy production in 2008 to approximately 15% in 2026, according to the data of the Energy Information Agency. Was it heir to mineral rights of a few acres, royalties, baby? Oh, really? Nice. Get the money. Get the money. I wish I was an heir to something. Coal generation shields consumers from the impacts of volatile energy prices and supply chain challenges. It is a vital piece of a sound energy strategy designed to meet the challenges of today's artificial intelligence driven demand growth in the context of conflict in the Middle East. So AI is going to play a big role in what happens with these power plants and why they're doing what they want. I thought each and every single one of these newer versions of these these data centers were all supposed to come with their own power supply.
Right.
They were all supposed to build their own power source so that way they weren't tapping into the nation's grid.
If I remember correctly, if Congress or maybe the president or both or everybody, somebody had pushed an initiative forward in order to restrict regulations around data centers building power systems. Because normally it's big regulation. You got to go through, years and years of whatever.
Right.
And they're trying to fast
Years
track.
and years of red tape, and he cut a bunch of that for him.
Right.
Right.
So, I
He,
mean, and the Colossus down there is not got a brand new generator set in there. The problem is the actual armature that they use to generate electricity, those big motors, are made by General Electric. There's only a handful in the world. I mean, we're talking like not that many, right? 1,000, 1,500, whatever. It's not like they make them every day. And so Elon sourced his own. There was a power station nearby that had shut down years ago, but still had the hardware in place. It just was never removed or tore down. So he went in, sourced it, bought it outright, and moved it up to his Colossus data center plant. Put in the power system, like was supposed to be done. Why haven't these others done it? Right now, I'm not saying it's right or wrong what he did, but I mean,
Got to do what you got to do.
it can be done, is what I'm saying.
Right.
So, yeah.
Figure out what's out. I mean, and he's got teams, so it's like you figure out what's out there,
Yeah.
why it's sitting there, and if it's available. If it's available, go get it at the lowest price you possibly can.
Sure.
Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't if he had the ability to do such a thing? That man, for sure, he would.
I mean, this guy sold flamethrowers for a living at one point. I still am amazed to this day that ever actually hit the market and sold. I'm not amazed that it's sold. I'm amazed that they let it be sold.
Last paragraph. Critics of the investment package include environmental groups vowed to file challenges. It is disgusting and reprehensible that the President of the United States has given away our taxpayer dollars to deadly and expensive coal plants that will make Americans sicker and drive electricity prices even more. The Sierra Club will do everything we can to fight back against the reckless handout and defend our communities from more soaring costs and toxic pollution. It's clean, beautiful coal.
Patrick grew up. He sounds like a Chad.
Right?
It's like, look, buddy, we only got so much time left. Just let us be. Go find a different cause.
Nickel floor, that sounds awesome. Got to play with liquid nitrogen.
Oh, nice.
Right?
Ooh. I always wanted to try an experiment with that stuff. Mess around with it. That would be fun. I would.
January 6 riders hired to work in sensitive Pentagon office. Perfect. I mean, where else would you put them? Pentagon Special Operations Low Intensity Conflict Office is sensitive defense department branch responsible for uncovering and defending against terrorism plots and asymmetric warfare is making sure that the United States commandos have everything they need to carry out the missions. The office now has a new asset, a January 6 rider who pleaded guilty to climbing through a broken window at the Capitol and to other offenses. Elias Irizarry, who was 19 on January 6, 2021, eventually apologized for his actions. President Trump pardoned Mr. Irizarry on Inauguration Day last year when Mr. Trump began his second term for granting blanket clemency to January 6 riders.
All right.
It is unclear who is responsible for the appointment for Mr. Irizarry, which was reported earlier by the Washington Post, but the Pentagon's acting press secretary Joel Valdez said in a statement that Mr. Irizarry is a qualified, patriotic young professional, and we are proud to have him as a political appointee. Political appointees usually are selected by Office and Defense Secretary, or in some cases, the White House. Mr. Irizarry could not be reached for comment.
That's a picture of him. Wait, what the hell? Is he a ginger?
I mean, he's got a red hat on with a thing around it. He's got like a gator around his head.
Yeah.
But one of the former leaders of the Special Operations Office said that the move would degrade public trust in the Pentagon. The office he is hired for works with our most elite military units on extremely sensitive national security issues, said Michael Lumpkin, the Assistant Defense Secretary of Special Operations and Low Intensity Conflict in the Obama administration. Like we give a damn what this Obama administration Lumpkin dude has to say. Right. It used to be that any possible negative perception about a hire like this would prevent it from happening. Today, It seems fealty is often more valued like expertise, sound judgment, or a strong moral compass. Mm-hmm. Whatever, dude. Mr. Zari, Mr. Bishi, and a third man, Grayson Sherrill, ended up in the Capitol's rotunda where they took photos and videos of another climbing on statues. Prosecutors said, while Mr. Zari was not charged with committing violence, he stayed in the Capitol grounds until after dusk and later pleaded to a charge of federal trespassing. Prosecutors said that the participation of the riot valued the oath he took as a student at the Citadel to abide by the virtues of honor, duty, and respect. At the time, Mr. Azari was also a member of the Civil Air Patrol, and crimes he committed were betrayal of his duty to keep the homeland safe. After he was arrested in March 2021, Mr. Azari showed no remorse, prosecutors said, but tried instead to figure out who had turned him into the authorities. He sent text messages to Mr. Bashi about joining the Russian military if he could not eventually join the U.S. military. He also took part in a group chat titled Civil War, prosecutors said, in which he discussed using small planes to cross borders undetected. Mr. Yazari lawyers said that he was a top student at the Citadel who later trained as a volunteer firefighter. He was also deeply interested in politics, not the politics spewed in InfoWars or My Pillow guy, but international relations through the Model United Nations and Boys State. His lawyers wrote in a memo asking the judge who handled his case for lenience. The
I
fuck? I
mean,
was gonna say,
Trump,
how much longer is this?
yeah, Trump,
Go ahead.
Trump, gave him a pardon. Leave this kid alone. Let him do
Right,
his
he's
job.
pardoned. Exactly that. He's pardoned.
Yeah,
Who gives a damn?
right. And he even apologized. They even stated in the article they apologized. Leave him alone. What are you doing? Go find a different tree
They're,
to.
they're like they're like trying to actually like. And that's why I'm like, I see Jan 6th thing or whatever. I'm like, all right, let's go check it out.
Yeah.
See what that
No,
means.
right, right.
I mean, leave the asshat alone.
Good on
He
him for
did. He
going
did
back.
some.
Yeah.
Either way, however, he's now an asshat. One of those assets that legit gets paid now.
Right.
So I mean,
Who's
I don't know.
experienced the other side and the inside of it, right? Like that. I would imagine that organization was not directly responsible. That's the wrong phrase. Was involved during the Jan 6 riots, right? I'm sure that office had communication with somebody during that, if I remember hearing the office title correctly. Anyway,
I see
yeah.
a name in here. What's up, Kings Oliver? Good to see you. Hello to you.
What's up, Kings?
So then, I mean, I'm gonna cut the article, I guess. We do. Yeah, we'll just go here. Southern Poverty Law Center paid KKK members who wanted out to stay with racist group. Motherfuckers.
What?
DOJ says.
Okay.
Department of Justice digging up old shit. Southern Poverty Law Center used donor funds to pay Ku Klux Klan members to remain with the racist organization despite their insistence on wanting to leave, according to new superseding Justice Department indictment. The new bombshell came as part of the new DOJ filing first reported Tuesday evening that expands the allegations contained in the agency's April indictment against the SPLC. The department revealed that the SPLC, a far-left group known for putting targets on backs of conservative organizations by falsely labeling them as hate groups, had been charged with 11 counts related to allegedly making fraudulent payments to extremist groups like the KKK as part of a supposedly covert informant scheme. In the Justice Department's new filing of allegations that the SPLC used donor funds to pay two KKK members who feared for their safety from other Klan members and wanted out of the movement to stay with the racist group. Per the superseding indictment, an individual identified as F-32 saw media coverage about how the Southern Poverty Law Center had previously helped an individual leave an extremist organization. As a result, F-32 allegedly reached out to the SPLC to ask for assistance in getting out of the movement. The individual also requested to help on behalf of another individual, F-31. These are airplanes. Rather than fulfill the request, the DOJ alleged that the SPLC employee encouraged F-31 and F-32 to stay in the movement and offered to pay them $1,200 monthly salary as well as to pay for expenses as incurred. After being financially backed by the SPLC to do so, the two unnamed KKK members agreed to remain with the movement.
I mean, that's the question of the day, okay, out there in chat. Would you be a part of the KKK for $1,200 a month?
It's only $300 a week.
Yeah. Just for staying in the group. They're not
Plus
even
expenses.
Oh, plus expenses.
Right, plus expenses. If you,
Oh, I'm having lunch every day.
well,
no
yeah.
way for going out to eat twice a week.
I mean, we need breakfast so that we have enough energy, and then we need lunch so that we can continue to move.
Make sure everything's in the right spot.
When I'm done, I got to make sure I have dinner.
Right. Nah, I couldn't do it. Sell out.
SPLC is a crooked Democrat organization. It is. It really seriously is, and that's what they're really seriously trying to point out is just that, is
Right.
that now all of a sudden the DOJ says, well, we see things for what they really are, or maybe they're concocting something. I don't know. Sure, there's some leftists out there that's sitting there, I can't believe that they concocted this big, huge scheme to go ahead and take down F-31 and F-32. I was friends with F-32. The fuck? Neither F-31 nor F-32 were researched or wrote any essays for any students, college or otherwise. The indictment's written. What the fuck does this have to do with what? There's F-30. Oh, F-30 shows up, and then all of a sudden, you got Ku Klux Klan and was leader of a faction of the Aryan nations.
You know, you can't claim systemic racism if it doesn't actually exist, so you got to pay people to make sure it exists. Right?
Pay people so that they continue to be as corrupt as you need them to be.
Right. I just imagine some Southern colonel, and I don't mean that in the military sense necessarily, but the guy with the big bow tie and the wide brim hat, and the whole get up and everything, some Southern lawyer, will petition the federal government for money for our poor, but they won't get it. And we'll make sure that we keep getting it by telling them that there's systemic racism down here with the KKK. It's still alive. We know. We give them a little bit of the money. Wow.
Allegations of corruption by top Democrats and reinvestigations, part 1. Really?
Is this the same article or is this different?
No, I moved on. From Obama to the present. As Democrat operatives have been rooted out of Justice Department and FBI since January 2025, some very inconvenient facts have been discovered, leading to grand jury and congressional investigations into long-buried corrupt criminal activities and prominent Democrats. As a politically charged and contested area, the legacy media running cover for Democrats at every opportunity, the summary below distinguishes between established facts, credible but disputed allegations, politically motivated claims, and investigative findings. It covers all known major threads. Uranium One. Uranium One is a Canadian headquartered company controlling roughly 20% of U.S. uranium mining capacity. In 2010, the Obama administration's Committee on Foreign Investments in the United States, on which Secretary of State Hillary Clinton sat, approved its sale of Rosatom, Russia's state owned nuclear company. What it is established, records obtained by the State Judiciary Committee detail that the federal investigators believed that there was significant evidence worth pursuing related to criminal activity involving the Clinton Foundation and the United States government's approval of Uranium One sale to Russian state-owned nuclear company Rosatom, a deal that resulted in Russian government acquiring roughly 20% of U.S. uranium production capacity. The FBI had already developed evidence, including recordings and documents indicating that Russian officials were engaged in racketeering and bribery schemes tied to the United States uranium market. FBI informant Douglas Campbell said he witnessed Russian nuclear executive planning to route millions of entities associated with Bill Clinton during the CFI U.S. review process. The Clinton Foundation received $145 million from parties involved in the transaction. What is the quid? Wow. Was it a quid pro quo? Suppression of investigation? Career agents and line prosecutors of FBI and DOJ believe that the saga may have been criminal, but orders the DOJ leaders such as Deputy Attorney General Sally Yates and then FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe slow-walked and stonewalled with inquiry to the point where it could no longer be pursued. A newly declassified FBI timeline urged the statute of limitations conclusion failed to include whether acts of concealment such as deleting emails in 2015 and making additional statements and representations about those deletions would have extended the statute of limitations and pointed to possible RICO, major fraud, and bank fraud statutes. U.S. Attorney John Huber has tapped the U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions in 2017 to review the allegations, but his work never rose to the level of special counsel. The quietly wound down in 2020 despite internal disagreements about the remaining leads, conveniently squelched for political reasons. Of course they were. Hunter Biden, Burisma, and Shokin. Burisma Holdings is an oil and natural gas company owned by Ukrainian oligarch Mykola Zlochevsky. 14 days after the 2014 Maidan Revolution in Ukraine, Hunter Biden joined Burisma's board. Over the next several years, he was a partner of Devon Archer, paid millions of dollars to Burisma. Zlochevsky describes as a corrupt Ukrainian oligarch, while Hunter serves as the board. They're really, literally they're like, well, you remember the stuff that you were trying to cover all the way back in the day, like 3-4 years ago on YouTube, and you were being suppressed over and over again for trying to share it? Yeah. Right there, it's there. The DOJ has finally picked up on it and said, oh, hey, by the way, described as corrupt Ukrainian oligarch, while Hunter served on the board. Zlochevsky allegedly paid $7 million bribe to Ukrainian Prosecutor's General Office to close the corruption case against him. As noted in the joint report of the U.S. Senate Finance Committee, the Obama administration knew Hunter Biden's position in Burisma's board was problematic and that it did interfere with the efficient execution of U.S. policy toward Ukraine. The Shokin firing in 2016, Viktor Shokin had an active and ongoing investigation into Burisma and Zlochevsky. At the time, Hunter Biden continued to serve as Burisma's board. Then, Vice President Biden threatened to withhold $1 billion in loan guarantees unless Ukrainian prosecutor Viktor Shokin, who was investigating Burisma, was dismissed. The Ukraine's parliament fired them. Biden publicly acknowledged this in a video in 2018. At the Council of Foreign Relations address, Shokin himself stated under oath that he was pursuing the case. Was his firing of quid pro quo? Devin Archer testimony. Business partner of Hunter Biden, Devin Archer, testified in July 2023 that the Biden family brand is in business derived its punch from Joe Biden's political power, and that Hunter Biden, who is paid approximately $1 million annually despite lacking sector experience, put his father on speakerphone during business meetings and numerous occasions. Republicans traced more than $20 million in profits from foreign deals that ended up in the bank accounts of Biden family members, including the president's granddaughter. You know, the one that he had pictures taken of with her in the bathroom. IRS whistleblowers' testimony outlined misconduct, including DOJ interference in the Hunter Biden investigation and retaliation against the IRS employees. In testimony to the U.S. House Ways and Means Committee in 2024, it was determined that the top IRS officials issued illegal gag orders against the two whistleblowers. Supervisory IRS whistleblower Gary Shapley stated every time that we needed to ask questions about President Biden's involvement in relation to the business dealings. We just weren't allowed to do that. Biden's pardon. President Biden issued a sweeping preemptive pardon for his son in December of 2024, covering Burisma and other activities, saying no reasonable person who looks at the facts of Hunter's cases can reach any other conclusion than Hunter was singled out only because he is my son. Remember all this shit? You're muted.
You're right. I was opening a bag and didn't want to crinkle. Yeah. He says all this in December 2024, and yet he can't get through a debate speech without having a stroke. What does he know about reasonable?
Right? Who's more corrupt, Clinton's or Biden's? I mean, they're all kind of the same thing. Clinton's, Biden's, Obama's.
I think Clinton's the most corrupt. She took out a dictator. Let's not forget that place over there just north of Egypt.
Cyprus? Israel?
No,
Lebanon?
too far north,
Oh, you're Palestine.
south. Oh,
You run into Egypt.
there's a little couple of countries up there, and she had some dictator up there taken out. It was when she was Secretary of State. I can't remember.
Had to have
Gaddafi.
been like Syria or something.
Gaddafi.
Oh,
The dictator's name was
Muammar.
Gaddafi. Muammar
Muammar
Gaddafi.
Gaddafi.
Right. Whatever country he was, she had him taken out basically.
Right. She's done a lot of things. She's done there's a couple books that I have behind me that I've actually read live, whatever, for that whole reasoning or whatever. Is to call her out for all her bullshit.
Yeah.
The one that gets me is the guy that hung himself and shot himself,
Yeah. Both.
both
Right.
with a shotgun.
They must have hated him something fierce.
Clinton's are the most recent, but by far not the worst. They just are part of the root planted. Libya, Libya must be Libya.
Libya. That is correct, Brad Williams or Jack or whoever had it first. I think Jack.
Jack had it first.
Yeah.
Brad put a question mark after. He's like, Libya? Libya. This is a critical threat detailed here and corroborated by multiple contemptuous sources. Rosemont Seneca and BHR partners Hunter Biden co-founded Rosemont Seneca Partners. He was one of the four founding shareholders of a private equity firm called Bohai Harvest RST, backed by Chinese state linked Bank of China.
Wait, where is what organization is that linked to China? The Bank of China? Say it isn't so.
The CFC deal and the big guy in May of 2017 email subsequently verified by one of the recipients outlines a proposal deal with Chinese oil giant CEFC in which Hunter Biden would be chair vice chair. Equity of the new company would be distributed as 20 for H and 10 held for H for the big guy. Hunter Biden business partner Tony Bobolinsky confirmed big guy referred to Joe Biden. The
Yeah.
top CEFC official offered to wire $10 million into the account to begin operations, $5 million of which would be a non-secured interest fee or interest-free forgivable loan to the BD family, identified as the Biden family. The Senate Homeland Security Committee's report indicates that $5 million was wired into the account just 2 weeks after the $10 million was received. Hunter Biden's firm then spent the next year wiring $4.8 million from the account. Bobolinsky describes Sinohawk Holdings as a partnership between the Chinese operating through CEFC Chairman Yi and the Biden family, and stated, I realized the Chinese were not really focused on healthy financial return of investment. They were looking at this as a political or influence investment. CFC Chairman Yi gave Hunter Biden 2.8 carat diamond valued at $50,000 to extend Hunter and Jim Biden, Joe's brother, credit cards with a $100,000 limit. Yi was arrested by the CCP in February of 2018 and has never been publicly heard of since. Patrick Coe, who headed to think tank funded by Yi and whom Hunter Biden called the spy chief of China, was arrested in New York for bribing UN and African officials. The Moscow connection, Elena Batrina, the widow of former mayor of Moscow, wired $3.5 million to Rosemont Seneca Thornton in February of 2014 for a consultancy agreement. Bank records showed Morgan Stanley managed Rosemont Seneca account, receiving a separate transaction of more than $3 million from Deutsche Bank in April of 2014 and raised the question of whether that was connected to Vitrina payment. FinCEN angle, an important structural point was described here. Multiple law enforcement sources confirmed that the FBI seized Hunter Biden's laptop in late 2019 as part of a federal money laundering investigation. The article noted that FinCEN collects all banks' transaction data, including suspicious activity reports, and the transaction through Luxembourg and Latvian and uh, Cypriot banks would likely be flagged for investigation. The Senate report confirmed that Biden family financial transactions with Ukraine, Russia, Kazakh, and Chinese nationals generated SARS.
Hold on.
Joe Biden's own S corporations. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. What was I going to say about that? Oh, right. Yeah, his laptop situation. You know, I was thinking about this. What are the odds that he would crash out, forget it at a repair shop? Because I think that's what it was. He took it
Yep.
someplace to get repaired, never picked it up, never paid for the bill or anything.
Right.
And then all
Exactly.
of a sudden, this guy turns it into the FBI. Like, how does
Well,
that
right.
happen? What are the steps in between there? Like, there's
Could you imagine obtaining somebody like just obtaining a laptop from somebody? They asked you to repair it. They never came back to get it after you repaired it. What would you do?
I'm not calling the FBI, not
But
unless
you
I
dig
know
into it and you at least you see this stuff that's in there.
if oh right. Because I have access to, of course, I'm looking at the contents of the laptop. I
Right.
would, hand to God, don't bring me a laptop to repair. I'm looking in it. I have to.
Definitely.
I have to protect myself. If
Right.
it's kitty porn or something, and some cops show up at my place and they're like, "Hey, we're looking for this XYZ," and now I've got it in my possession and I didn't report it, I'm done. I'm toast. Just as well as the next person who actually owns the laptop. But you know, to each their own. But I'm looking in the contents. Absolutely. Yeah, and then I guess they would report it to the FBI if I saw what I
The
saw.
blood Scotsman.
Blunt Scotsman. What's going on, brother?
Joe Biden's own S corporations. The article also raised an unresolved question. Joe and Jill Biden routed approximately $13.5 million of their $17 million post vice presidency income through S corporations, Celtic Precor and Giacobi Corp, which are not subject to standard CTR reporting thresholds. Whether any foreign sourced income flowed through these entities has never been publicly established. FEC records show DNC contractor Alexander Chalupa's firm was paid $71,918 by the DNC during the 2016 election cycle. A former Ukrainian embassy political officer stated that he was instructed by the ambassador to meet with Chalupa, who was identified to him as someone working for the DNC and trying to get Clinton elected. He, she rather, told him the DNC wanted to collect evidence that Trump, his organization, and Manafort were Russian assets. The Ukrainian embassy proceeded to work directly with reports researching Trump campaign's advisor Paul Manafort in Russia to point them in the right directions, according to embassy officials. Concluded thoughts? The financial network described above, Rosemont Seneca, BHR, Sinohawk CEFC, Burisma, Private Bank, Deutsche Bank, and the Vitrina Wire, is documented in emails, bank records, and sworn testimonies. The direct connection of Joe Biden to the receipt of the funds remains alleged but unproven. 10 hold The 10 hold by H for big guy email is authenticated, but no bank record is publicly confirmed. Joe Biden received a payment. The broader question of whether U.S. policy or elections were altered in exchange for these arrangements remains the central unresolved allegations across all of these threads. A corollary question is just how thorough and unbiased were the investigations into these various allegations? Fortunately for Americans, but potentially very unfortunately for the involved parties, multiple parallel reinvestigation tracks are now active and accelerating with varying degrees of seriousness, institutional legitimacy, and legal controversy. They span the DOJ, the FBI under Kash Patel, the Senate Judiciary Committee, a major grand jury operation in South Florida. These will be covered in part two of this series, along with a deep dive into the grand conspiracy. And of course, because I am the way I am, I seen this article the other day when it was first posted on the second. So, part two, allegations of corruption by top Democrats and reinvestigations, part two. Some accountability may finally be coming. In keeping with the move and narrative concocted by Democrat activists during the Monica Lewinsky scandal in 1998 to protect Bill Clinton from impeachment, Democrats in 2024 probably thought they had successfully delayed obfuscation, covered up, and pushed past various statutes and limitation for potential crimes associated with the scandals detailed in part one of the series. Enter the second Trump administration, and some of these scandals and other cold cases are apparently being pursued with vigor. by the U.S. Justice Department and several grand juries. Multiple parallel reinvestigation tracks are now active and accelerating, with varying degrees of seriousness, institutional legitimacy, and omnipresent legal controversy via Democrat lawfare. Let's examine them carefully as the legacy media is doing their best to keep them under wraps to protect the Democrat Party during the 2026 campaign season. The Grand Conspiracy Grand Jury. This is the most structurally significant, far reaching, and ongoing investigation, reinvestigation, and cold case involvement, in Democrat corruption, and more. What it is? For months, the DOJ, what it is. For months, the DOJ has been preparing the vast grand jury investigation against the expensive list of Trump's adversaries located in Trump friendly South District of Florida. The investigation targets former intelligence and law enforcement officials who allegedly conspired over the past decade to prevent Trump from exercising his constitutional and federal rights. Attorney General Pam Bondi asserted that those officials had protected Democrats like Hunter Biden and Hillary Clinton from criminal investigations while pursuing conservatives for their beliefs. Fort Pierce grand jury formally convened. A court order from the United States District Court of Southern District of Florida shows that Chief Judge Cecilia Altonega authorized a grand jury to convene in Fort Pierce beginning July 12th, 2026. A top Trump ally has publicly said the grand jury will be used to look at evidence related to the alleged weaponization conspiracy. Legal advocates for the theory have noted that framing this as an ongoing conspiracy could eliminate statute of limitation barriers that might otherwise protect Obama-era figures. Subpoenas issued. A federal grand jury in the Southern District of Florida has issued roughly 30 subpoenas to the former Obama-era intelligence and FBI officials. Those subpoenas include former CIA Director John Brennan, former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper, former FBI official Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, CIA Director John Ratcliffe. Review described Brennan, Clapper, and former FBI Director Comey as excessively involved in a rushed, unconventional intelligence assessment of Russian election interference. Genova appointment. Joseph DiGenova, Trump's former personal attorney and Reagan era U.S. attorney, was named counsel of the Attorney General to lead the sprawling South Florida based criminal probe into those involved in prior cases against Trump. He replaced career prosecutor Maria Medicis Long, who was removed after she told supervisors the evidence was insufficient to support charges and allegedly resisted internal pressure to bring an indictment. Uranium One Clinton Foundation. There's some lot of things that are kind of tied to each other that I think a lot of us didn't realize that were really closely tied to each other. Democrats been doing what Democrats been doing for a while. Uranium One Clinton Foundation, Grassley, May 2026 demands. This is the most immediately active thread touching the original corruption allegations from Part 1. And it's happening right now, this month. Grassley, April 27th, 2026 letter. Would have been a few days ago. Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Charles Grassley sent a letter to Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche, soon to be actual Attorney General, got appointed today.
Yep.
And FBI Director Kash Patel demanding records related to the Clinton Foundation and Uranium One investigations, citing newly declassified FBI documents revealing a pattern of unresolved corruption allegations and repeated interference with federal investigators. Grassley is demanding a full accounting, including all investigative report, interview transcripts, and final deposition of every allegation raised in the probe. With the declassified FBI records show, According to released records, the FBI opened a preliminary investigation into the foundation on January 29th, 2016, focused on an alleged use of foreign entities to corruptly influence decisions before the State Department. The investigation was triggered by bank suspicious activity reports suggesting that uranium industry figures and federal public officials may have participated in a scheme where large monetary contributions flowed to a nonprofit under Clinton's control. I can read already. Why zero discussion? Well, I mean, how much? What do you mean? We're not talking about it. We need to talk. We stop and we delve into each word.
I guess.
The investigations were triggered by bank suspicion activities suggesting that uranium industry figures and federal public officials may be participating in a scheme where large monetary contributions flowed to a nonprofit under Clinton's control. According to the 2016 FBI document, Secretary Clinton failed to comply with a memorandum of understanding regarding foreign influence concerns, especially by failing to disclose 4 foreign donations totaling to $2.35 million that were given by Ian Tefler, the then head of Russian uranium company Uranium One. There's some money. Somebody's going to get arrested soon. There's no way that this goes on very much. April 27th, 2026, he released this saying that we're going to be doing something. Let's go. Why have we been waiting so damn long?
Here's the connection I want to see. So during that time, shortly after, I believe, Iran all of a sudden gets a bunch of uranium from Russia. Is it the same Uranium One? If so, she's dead. Because they can test that uranium and see if it's the same batch of uranium that they sold to Russia that may also be in Iran. There was talks about U.S. Persons picking up uranium. They can test that and see if it's the same. Yeah. That'd be interesting to see.
What? I mean, I don't get it. As I'm reading an article about the garbage that's going on, and it's actually coming up to something of interest, where we're finally getting to the point of why the article's even there. I got people like looking at me like, "Oh, okay, well, good night and good luck." What? I mean, huh? Brad?
No, I didn't see that.
Good evening, Jason B. We're finally getting to the point of the story so that we can actually discuss the things. Grassley is now demanding all SARS reviewed, produced, and associated with the FBI's Clinton Foundation Uranium One investigation, exactly the FinCEN SAR thread discussed in Part 1 of the series applied to Clinton's side. Internal disputes surfaced during the earlier investigation, with one DOJ official describing the department's reaction to FBI briefings as hostile, while the DOJ public integrity officials maintained the FBI presentation lacked sufficient basis. Even after Trump first took office in 2020, investigative updates showed by requests remained unresolved nearly 2 years after submission. The Patel factor, with Kash Patel now leading the FBI, Senator Grassley's demands lands a very different Washington than the one that was handed in Clinton Foundation file in 2016. Whether Patel's FBI, will produce the records of an already accelerated underlying investigation is essential unknown, as he should still be a podcaster. He shouldn't be FBI leader of nothing. Sorry. I just don't think so. Just good night, bro. I had to... How do you think that is an There's no argument. I don't know what's an argument. I don't understand where the argument there is no argument. It was just you simply asked us to reply. I didn't have anything to reply to yet. I was waiting to get to the point of the matter to reply. You sleep well, sir. Exactly. We'll continue. We'll continue. Give me a moment. Former Attorney General Pam Bondi directed federal prosecutors to launch the grand jury investigation into accusations that members of Obama administration manufactured intelligence about Russia's 2016 election interference. Following the referral from Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, whose declassified documents she alleges undermine the Obama administration's conclusion that Russia tried to help Trump defeat Hillary Clinton, Republicans have seized on a newly declassified July 27, 2016 email in Special Counsel Durham's classified annex, which purportedly said Hillary Clinton had approved a plan during the campaign to link Trump with Russia. Durham's earlier investigation found serious flaws, but produced only one conviction, a guilty plea from FBI lawyer for a false statement. Was he the fall guy who let others slip through the prosecutorial net? Maybe, potentially. Florida Backwater, good to see ya. This probe is significant in the Ukraine threads because of the Chalupa DNC Ukraine coordination, the Manafort ledger leaks, and the origins of the FBI's counterintelligence work against the Trump campaign are all potentially within its scope. Biden mental capacity, pardon abuse investigation. President Trump ordered Attorney General Pam Bondi to investigate whether the Biden administration conspired to cover up Biden's mental state while in office. This is primarily a domestic governance probe, but may touch on who is actually directing Ukraine policy and the Burisma-related decisions during the period when Biden's cognitive capacity was clearly in decline. I mean, it's been in decline forever. It's just in legitimate decline. What is not yet active? Despite the above activity, several threads of Part 1 do not yet appear to have dedicated confirmed grand jury activity, but almost certainly should. Hunter Biden's financial network, Burisma, Rosemont Seneca Private Bank, and Bertrina Wire CFC flows. The special counsel investigation by David Weiss effectively ended the Hunter Biden 2024 conviction and subsequent pardon. The pardon is broad enough to block most new federal prosecutions of Hunter, especially, however, it did not cover co-conspirators. The Joe Biden S Corporation question remains theoretically open. DNC Chalupa Ukraine election interference, no dedicated criminal investigation confirmed yet, though it falls within the scope of the broader Russia origin probes. Finson Saringel, the more than $20 million in trace foreign funds documented by House oversight, has not yet been publicly tied to an active grand jury, though Grassley's precedent on using SARS as predicate for Clinton Foundation probes suggests this is a viable pathway for current DOJ. They're just not being able to do a damn thing. They've been doing this shit forever. Grassley wasn't the normal original head of all this. You had, what's his name? Brains. I can see his face. because there was a couple of them that were working on this thing, trying to get this thing to go. There's a case of optimism that investigations that were previously swept under the rug by Democrat-friendly Justice Department are being re-examined under the new management of Trump Justice Department. The most important of these is the Grand Conspiracy Grand Jury, whose purpose is to examine allegations of coordinated multi-year effort by former high-level intelligence, law enforcement, and DOJ officials, such as James Comey, John Brennan, Peter Strzok, and others, from the 2016 Russian investigation Crossfire Hurricane through subsequent probes of prosecutions in Donald Trump to undermine the candidacies of presidencies. The intent is to investigate claims of broad conspiracy involving alleged abuse of power, misleading FISA warrants, leaks, and politically motivated actions, potentially using a unified conspiracy theory to overcome statutes of limitations by linking events with recent overt acts. They're like, we're going to subvert the statute of limitations over and over again in each one of these things because all of a sudden somebody else made it active again to make it just look like they can continue to run this dead horse down the path. It really seriously seems that way. It doesn't seem like this is really seriously going to get anywhere. Grassley's going to do something when? Soon? Filed something the other week? Last week? Big fucking deal.
He's been saying this for years.
Whether this investigation, as well as the other active reinvestigations summarized above, and hopefully those of dormant list noted above, produces indictments of major figures or collapses under the weight of political appointee involvement, the insufficient evidence of the defining legal drama of 2026. So, over and over again, have tried to cover this stupid ass shit over and over for them to continuously run us down this path of being like, look, we're going to do something. We're going to do something. We're going to do something. Yeah, fucking when? Fucking when? So sick of this bullshit. Lie to us. Lie to us. Lie to us. Load some shit that I had open. 420. Let's do it.
Roger that. That's tasty. That's tasty. I am eating the all-natural beef, omega-3 trail mix.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Sweetened cranberries, walnuts, pepitas, almonds, and pecans. No chocolate, no.
Sure.
Then I got a breakfast mix with some sweet yogurt, or whatever on it. I don't know. Some granola in it.
I mean, honestly, if it's worth it, some dead guys going for real. They're talking about dead teeth. Yeah.
What?
They're talking about cadaver teeth. Chat's not with us. Chat's not with us. They're like, nah, we didn't listen to that.
Okay.
Like, go look to see what they're talking about and try following. Let's see if they were following along with what we were doing.
This is an interesting article for me. My daughter, her report or her scores for pre-ACT came back. She took that, and she's not as good as I had hoped. She's good in some areas, lacking in others. STEM is one of them, and 12th or 11th grade literacy or 10th grade literacy. I don't know, something like that. So STEM is
College
important.
professors say incoming students no longer understand middle school math and science. Middle school math and science? Like, can't do algebra? Because that's what you needed to pass to get into high school, was you
Right.
needed to take the algebra test. The algebra test told you if you got to take algebra or if you took pre-algebra once you hit the high school.
Right.
Can't do basic, you can't figure out what X is. Rampant AI use accelerates a crisis of education. University of California professors are pleading with leadership to reinstate college entrance exams. The Wall Street Journal reports claiming that incoming students barely have a middle school level understanding of math and other subjects.
Wow.
And other subjects, right? Their request, made in a letter last week, will be controversial one. Entrance exams like SAT and ACT have long been criticized for exacerbating racial inequality. Taking them isn't free, and nor is participating in rigorous participation courses, with wealthier and usually white children 13 times likelier to get high score in either test than kids of low income families. One study led by Harvard researchers found.
So it sounds
Nonetheless,
like the professors over there in the California universities are starting to wake up and realize DEI is not all it's cracked up to be.
they're like, I think we kind of did something wrong.
Yeah, yeah. We need to
Something's
roll this back a bit.
not quite working the way we thought it was going to. Nonetheless, UC math and science professors found the situation in the ground is untenable, with letter claiming that nearly a third of the students taking their first semester calculus course in UC Berkeley were now displaying severe preparation deficits. None of them could even read this news article. We now observe preparation gaps so sever that instructors must reteach middle school mathematics while simultaneously teaching the material students need for sciences, engineering, economics, and other quantitatively demanding fields. The faculty wrote, as quoted in the Wall Street Journal, UC has finite resources and can help only so many students. Just like any other school, they only have so many resources. And when you get into those inner cities that have no money for those resources because the poverty level's there, all of a sudden you're like wondering, where's the resources? There are none. How come there's zero resources? Oh, let's let them into college. We should who cares? Who cares if they don't know what the fuck is going on? How ridiculous. As the COVID pandemic gripped the US in 2020, many schools, UC included, began making SAT and ACT exams optional. Today, more than 90% of schools don't require them. Harry Fetter, executive director of educational policy group Fair Test, which advocates against exams, told the WC, bro, advocates against exams. They're like, yeah, tests are racist. Don't take a test.
Math is racist. I remember hearing that one. Math.
But this is an advocate for the exam in itself. It doesn't matter what subject it is.
Right.
No exams whatsoever. No SATs, no ACTs. They're placement tests. They're literally just placement tests to see how intelligent you are before they put you into courses, so that way you can take some of the remedial stuff before you have to take some of those advanced courses. They do that on purpose. They're not doing placement tests. They're just like, whatever. Go ahead. Do what you want.
Good luck.
Right?
And you know, the problem doesn't even stem from the fact that the colleges want to put these back in place. That's not the problem. The problem is these kids not being taught in the first place. And why is that? Because you pay a woman or a man $30,000 a year to live in the danger zone. I got to imagine lower city LA public school system is a fucking joke. I couldn't imagine going to
I
high school
mean,
in a system
we
like that.
we watched what that looked like when we watched the things with Coolio back in the day.
Right.
You know, they explained a lot of this stuff, what the inner city really seriously was like. We know better. They showed us.
Sounds like it hasn't really changed. If
And
anything, it's
even
gotten worse.
right, and I mean, even my hometown high school. I mean, it was well funded. I'll give you that, but at the same time, there was a lot of riffraff. There's a lot of us low income, low poverty incomes, students or whatever that were running around doing absolutely just that. Nothing. If you have an intelligent child, hide him or her from the CIA and deep state and their rulers. What
No,
up, Jada?
absolutely not, Nickel. If I have a son or daughter that is intelligent enough to enter into that field and be part of it, I want them there. Because I know my children, and I know that they will tell me something sooner or later. I
Yeah,
just,
sorry, your children not being accepted now.
yeah.
But the elite college has been reversing course. MIT reinstated the SAT back in 2022. Harvard and Dartmouth colleges in 2024. Yale University last month. UC has stood its ground, encouraging prospective students to study, write essays, and take up extracurricular activities instead, according to the reporting. They didn't figure it out. One thing that's undeniable, the education landscape is drastically different from what it looked like just a few years ago. AI chatbots and other AI tools have ushered in the rampant cheating, where its use is considered within ethical academic bounds. Many educators are skeptical that AI facilitates actual thinking. Oh, I'm sorry, actual learning, and numerous studies linking heavy AI use to impaired critical thinking skills. The memory of loss. Memory loss? Yeah, because
Right.
you're not trying to retain shit. You don't give a damn. You're like, oh, the phone will tell me again later.
Right. Or it just went up the screen and it'll never be seen ever again. You know?
One found that students had used ChatGPT to help write essays, had lower brain activity in areas corresponding with creativity. Go fucking figure.
Right.
Compared to students who only used a traditional Google search or didn't look up information at all. All the while, grade inflation and skyrocketed. Grade inflation has skyrocketed across countries since the mainstream adoption of ChatGPT and other AI tools, with recent research showing that the share of A grades of courses. I mean, if you went ahead and you submitted a test to somebody, and you knew what the AI was going to answer, and you watched 10 people write down the same answer as they got it from the AI, you're gonna know. Even if they tried to change the letters around or verbiage around just a little bit, you're gonna know, and you're gonna be like, wrong, 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 wrong. Stop using Chat GPT. You can figure it out. Figure it out real quick who's cheating. But as the answer to these deeply rooted issues, reinstate mandatory testing is debatable, and you could argue that it would be the equivalent of slapping on a band aid to treat a disease. It's clear that the education system is failing young students, and unless serious conversations are had about myriad systemic issues like incursions of AI, which is fueled by institutions happy to take big tech money, The situation isn't going to improve. Not going to improve. It has no reason to improve. It doesn't want to improve. It's the AI. Um,
Holy shit. Iran? Oh.
what's this say?
America.
Gas tanker hauling stolen fuel explodes into fireball, creates raging inferno.
Puta, sí, 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 sí.
Somewhere south of the border, it sounds. Maybe.
San Juan, Negrete neighborhood around 10 a.m., leaving authorities scrambling to extinguish flames and evacuate nearby homes, hospitals, and schools.
At an LP liquid propane gas station. Oh shit.
An LP gas storage site, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Very explosive. Not that gasoline isn't, but I think LP is more so. More volatile. Wow.
A la madre.
It's quite the explosion.
Yeah, it is.
It's
I just
interesting
think
to see.
Just think it wasn't caused by war. It was somebody not driving the way they should have. I mean, they had stolen a stolen tanker, so I mean, yeah. What did they think was going to happen?
I really, like I said, I didn't really have time to do much today. New list includes 31 recognized faiths, most of them Christian denominations. Defense Department to drop atheists, pagans, and 175 others from lists of military faiths.
Hoorah! Get it.
The Department of War has substantially reduced the number of religions it officially recognizes, reportedly excluding atheists, pagans, humanists, and New Age faiths. An independent military focused news website reports the reduction of recognized faiths group represents the first time the military has revised the list since 2017, when it vastly expanded the list to recognize faith groups to about 211. The new list includes 31 recognized faiths, as reported by military.com on Thursday. The outlet said that its report was based on May 20th memorandum to obtain after it obtained after it was issued by Undersecretary of Defense. War, Secretary of War. The Department of War did not immediately respond to the request of RNS for additional information, including specific on who was included in the list of how such decisions would affect military members and the other faiths who might desire assistance from a chaplain. But the report seems to reflect developments previously announced by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. In a March video, he introduced upcoming Pentagon plans relating to reforms of the chaplain corps and recognition of religions. The previous system had ballooned to over 200 faiths. Our internal review committee recommends 31. I mean, okay. I mean, I guess at least they're trying to be inclusive. Did I not hit a repost button? I don't think I did. I don't think I did. I should go look. I'm not even watching the stream. What's wrong with me? I don't have the stream open anyway. Strange. Blunt Scotsman reposted. Cindy K reposted. Jason Beep reposted. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There's a comment. Who's this?
Didn't I get a repost in there?
I was here today, says Deba Vilbert. Okay. Did you get one in there? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I didn't see it.
A little Twitter pated when I came in today. Meaning I was distracted by Twitter. I refuse to call it X.
Yes, Heg said exactly. Heg's heart. Yes. Mm-hmm. You know it, Scotsman.
Pistol Pete.
I don't have anything else.
Nothing else.
I don't have anything else. Right. Like legit, no. Nothing.
Oh, shit.
Let's see. It's fine. I don't have to have a million things to do every night, do I?
No, not at all.
We covered quite a few things. If there's anything that's out there that everybody's like, hey, what about this thing? I mean,
well, I have to.
Let me know.
I don't have to, but I want to finish this off before I call it a night, and a sneaky suspicion it's going to hit me pretty quick, so I'm going to get out of here for the night. I think it's very hot in my shop right now. It's like 80 degrees in here. I got the air on, but just ain't doing it. I got to turn on my fan. This cast is making me overheat. I've got one part of my body wrapped in wool, and yeah.
I get you. Itchy.
Well, man, it was hanging for you a bit.
Itchy, warm, stinky. That is what happens.
No,
right?
It wasn't too bad actually. They changed it out today. My wound is looking very much better, extremely much better. They were even surprised by how much it had improved. So, a couple more weeks most likely, tops. I'm thinking. I don't know. I'm a quick healer. I've got a good constitution for the most part. So, all right, man. I'm gonna get out of here later.
Later. Remove. Next. Kennedy Center in Washington on Thursday ordered staff to remove President Donald Trump's name from the institution to comply with federal court rulings. Oh no. The Donald J. Trump and John F. Kennedy Memorial Center for the Performing Arts is now just going to be the John F. Kennedy Memorial for the Performing Arts. Fucking wow. They can't help themselves. They continue to do stupid shit. And they're like, well, let's spend the money to put this up. Oh, tell them to take it down. Take it down. Next 2 months, 3 months later, all of a sudden we'll be like, oh, put it back up. Put it back up. It was illegal for you to spend more money. Spend more money. Spend more. Remember the duck and cover drills? Duck and cover. Shit. We were told to hide underneath our desks. We were taught to hide under our desks. If it was a tornado drill, we were hauled down the hallway and into this long corridor or whatever, kind of hidden. But if it was going to be anything else, under our desks. Like, yeah, that is safe. Sounds great. Sounds comfy. They're like they're like metal legs that went up and over with a flat whatever that kind of lifted, full top, lifted. You had enough room to store all of your things. You didn't take it home with you. You left it at school. You left all your stuff, in there so that the teacher could go through your desk later on when you were gone. They didn't really go through it. I remember at one point in time leaving a couple containers of milk, and they're like a week or two later getting yelled at for leaving milk in my desk. Told to throw it away because it stinks. I mean, shit, bro. There's really seriously not much really going on. China's solar majors charge into batteries as panel sales falter. I'm just like, gotta go dig through something else. That's where the problem is. Dig through something else. We had wooden desks when I was in elementary school. Better protection. I mean, they legit were. They knew that they didn't have anything special to protect us. So just to have us sit underneath our desk was, I think, was more of like a place marker, as they knew that that might still be in place. That one thing, that desk, and you'd be like, ah, there's somebody underneath that. There's somebody underneath that. On my way. Nice. Nice. Sounds fun. These nights like this, these Thursdays, I gotta find something more constructive. Find something that's gonna be like, I know it's gonna take me 4 hours, 3 hours, whatever it be. Sub TM. Did all of the news that I really seriously had for the day already. Myself and Cancel Hatred were hanging out for a minute. We kind of did a few things. Should have probably went and grabbed something, and listened to it as opposed to just reading articles. But we read a bunch of articles, kind of seen some interesting shit. Heard, listened to some. I mean, read some interesting shit. Hi, 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 hi. Rollins tortures Rep. Anti Craig during explosive snap hearing. Hmm. Your state is saying we only have 1.6% fraud rate, which we all know is an absolute joke. I'll say it again. USDA's own data found 1.6%. No, no. We are relying on the data from Minnesota. You won't share it with us. I don't know. You don't think I understand the difference between error rates and fraud rates? I honestly don't. It's one of the lowest programs. The lowest fraud rate in any program in America is the SNAP program. Bullshit. Bullshit line. Straight up line from the opposite end of the pole, whatever, on that one. Look at that. It's like lowest fraud rate in any program is the SNAP program. Food stamps? Food stamps is the oldest fraud program available. The fuck are you talking about? The lowest fraud rate in the program in America is SNAP program. You can't be serious when you say that. Oh, you own debt. Your own data says 1.6%. Again, that's because your state told us that number. You won't allow us to confirm it. I'm reclaiming my time once more. You've bragged on TV that it's a great thing that you kick 4 million people off SNAP. The ability to work, the righteousness to work is not. Reclaiming my time, Madam Secretary, I'm asking you these questions because these issues to this committee, it's all personal. It's You're not asking questions for an answer. You're asking questions to make a political statement. Reclaiming my time again. I would like to actually have a real conversation. Lamau. Lamau. Angie Craig, you nasty fucking bitch. Go away. Minnesota deserves much better. Minnesota's been run rampant into the hole with Democrats like Angie Craig, thinking that she can go ahead and make up whatever the fuck she wants. I hate that lady. I don't normally say that. I don't normally like to say that or whatever when it comes down to hating people in particular. She's one of them. She's a disgrace. Go flip through. Scott Bentley's nasty Democrat congresswoman completely humiliated after asking her a simple American history question. Uh-oh. Scott Percent proved it illiterate. Just how illiterate your average Democrat regarding American history. Wow. How about English? By asking by asking an easy question about it while testifying in Capitol Hill. As the Hill reported, Bissett testified before the House Ways and Means Committee on Thursday morning about President Trump's fiscal 2027 budget request and the department's priorities. Judy Chu decided to use a hearing to smear President Trump as a heartless thug who does not care about American people's well being and demanded that Bissett agree with him. Do you agree that President Trump, that you can also do not care about Americans' financial situation? Bissett left Chu stumped in a comeback she was not ready for, which exposed her complete ignorance of American history. Congresswoman, who was the president during World War One? He inquired. Chu froze and started stuttering before Percent asked again. Finally, she admitted it. She had no clue before going back to her talking points. The answer to Percent's question, of course, is Woodrow Wilson. This is something Americans learn in grade school. To recently, President Trump said he doesn't think about Americans' financial situation when it comes to the war with Iran. As I want to ask you, Secretary Bissett, do you agree that President Trump, that you also do not care about Americans' financial situation? Congresswoman, who was the president during World War One? Can you? Who was the president during World War One? I don't know. But clearly you don't care about Americans' financial situation. I mean, it was Woodrow Wilson. If she cared about Americans' financial situation, she would want to know why he wanted to have her answer such a weird question and why it would lead us down this path of war that never ends in almost every other place that we enter because we can't help ourselves. We have this thing with big banks and World War I, all right around the same time. Y- If she would just literally hold a conversation with them, you'd be surprised what kind of information you get out of this man. I'd love to seriously just be there and just be like, you know what, bitch, shut up. Let me ask him a couple questions and just talk to him for a few minutes. Get the legit thoughts that are in that guy's head and why it is that he just he's the fixer. He's gonna fix his bullshit. He's gonna help fix his bullshit. I mean, I know, I get it. He worked for George Soros as well. I get it. On my way. Ba-da-da. Ba-da-da. Cannabis cause exponential hole in heart birth rate or birth defect? Hole in heart? Oh, she'd be smoking weed right high anyway. What the fuck? You kidding me? Kind of idiocy is that? Bruh. Legendary film director Martin? Is it supposed to be Martin Scorsese? Under fire for joining forces with AI company. I mean, yeah, go ahead, go join the AI company. Be a retard. They all at it. Every single last one of them can't help themselves. Let's see. So let it go. Is Texas about to weather a big blue storm? Maybe. Ebola Ground Zero CNN's Clarissa Ward and what it's like inside the red zone. Of course you'd go there. I'm gonna go to the red zone. Prove that it's deadly. San Antonio is bracing for New York invasion. Basketball. There can be no winners in the Patagonia debacle. Fuck all that. I ain't looking at some stupid ass trans dude fucking dressed in some bullshit that's getting sued by a company named Patagonia. Like, I named myself Patagonia a long time ago. The Pit star Noah Wiley defends Dr. Robbie's fall from grace. Mm-hmm. Sure. Ridiculous. Dumbass news. I'm gonna take this shit down. Look at a cartoon. They all had it. Two wings of a very greedy bird. Like Big Bird. With an imaginary friend. An imaginary friend that's so big and ginormous. It's like it's like the national debt. Like the national debt. We call him Stuffaluffagus. We call it a Snuffleupagus. It's just so big. Doop doo doop doo doo. Doop doo doop doo. Doop doo. Doop 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 doop. I mean, hold on my way. Pam Bondi claims Todd Blanche was in charge the entire release of the Epstein files. Nice. It's just him anyway. Senate Republicans narrowly block what? Hold on here. We just read an article here from the House. Attempts for Senate Republicans on Thursday narrowly scuttled an attempt for Democrats to stop Donald Trump from creating a $1.8 billion fund to pay for his allies as the signs of emergent dissent over the proposal was spreading inside the U.S. president-owned party. Democrat Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer has proposed inserting language barring the payouts of Republican-backed legislation to fund Trump's mass deportation campaign through the duration of his term. After a vote that stretched for 3 hours, groups of senators were spotted huddling on the chamber floors. The amendment failed by a 49-50 vote. 3 Republican senators, all of whom were seen as vulnerable in November's midterm election, broke with their party to join all Democrats in support. Blocking that shit, are you? Definitely going to bed at 20 after 11 at night. Not staying up to midnight. Last night I was up until like 12:30 or whatever. Legit. By the time I went and laid down, I had a problem. I couldn't find my phone. Couldn't find my phone. I normally turn the alarm on just in case. I'm like, all right, whatever. Go lay down without turning the alarm on. Here I am, 4 o'clock. Fuck, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I got another hour. I went and crawled in bed. Crawled in bed 45 minutes and I woke up. No phone, no phone, no alarm. Like, fuck am I doing this so early? Eat, get ready to go work. Get some sleep tonight. That's what we're doing. Yeah, there's just not much going on. I'll do better for tomorrow. We'll do better for tomorrow. We'll get a bunch of stuff out. Maybe. I mean, that's all right. It's the blunt Scotsman.
Morning, beautiful people.
Morning, sir. What's going on this wonderful, wonderful morning for you?
Fuck the morning. I'm sorry I didn't mean that.
Lamau. Say fuck all that.
Yeah,
Hello.
I'm sure. I just know by experience it gets better, but yeah, fuck the morning, man. No, I was replying. You maybe just missed some of my comments when you were reading out some of the regurgitated stuff that we get thrown back in our faces a little bit about the Burisma stuff and Hunter Biden and the money that's filtered through the big guy. It's only ever my very humble opinion. It's only ever political point scoring. Because as far as we look back, and even this administration, the family gets spin offs from the president. I mean, if you can't be making money for your family while you're the president, when the fuck can you? You know? But I mean, the family as it is in this administration, they guys have always been making money. That's what he's done. Art of the deal was there for a reason. You know, there's no surprise that Mr. Trump is keeping all his family in the fold for the profits. No loss. But just like you had said also, look, nothing ever seems to get done. Of course, nothing's going to get done because they're all doing it. He ain't going to vote for Christmas. Yeah.
Get it, Rich. Thank you for smashing it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Interesting day I had. A new employee.
Oh,
He's
really?
act Yep, yep, he's
It's,
actually he was my shadow for the day. He was my
right.
shadow for the day. It was a very interesting shadow for sure. He got to some point or whatever where I had some lady come in. She's like, "I have a cinder block wall, and I want like to not paint it, but change the texture of it to more like a just a regular wall, but without mounting sheetrock to it." She wanted to do this, and I'm like, only thing I have is the sealer, the block sealer. You can take that; it would lock up all the porousness of the cedar, cinder block, or whatever. Which then, after you did that, you could take it and you could paint it again with regular paint to make it look semi that way, but you're still going to see like the grout patterns or whatever from the for what it be. And she's like, "No, I don't want to see those. I want that to go away." And I'm like, "I can't make that go away, lady." This is so as we're sitting there trying to explain this to her, trying to explain this to her, all of a sudden a call come across the radio for a return for a department. So that's me. That's me. So I'm like, I got to take that call real quick. I'll be right back. I'll show you what exactly I'm thinking for you. And I go walk away, go help the register out, whatever, so they do the return. I come walking back and I grab that bucket in my hand. And as I'm walking up to her, she's walking out the store. I looked over at the trainer, and I'm trainee. I said, "Oh, wait a minute here. What happened?" And he's like, "I don't know. She decided to walk away." I'm like, "Were you talking to her?" And he's like, "Oh, yeah." I'm like, and
What
she
did
just kind of walked away from me while you were talking to you? And he said, "Well, yeah." She says, "I don't understand what that was." And she walked away. And I'm like, "Well, did you explain to her that I'm the only paint tech and I needed to actually do that real quick?" I explained it to her that I needed to. 45, 50 minutes later, lady can walk back in the store, goes and walks up to him and says, "Can I talk to your manager, please?" Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, "Mama, I'll help you, lady." I grabbed the radio. I'm like, "Can I get a manager to come down to the department?" Like immediately. She's the, she come down. She come down, come talk to her. Walked away, said zero things to me. I'm like, she knows better. I was training. She was complaining that I wasn't looking directly at her, looking at my trainee, so he understands what the fuck the process is to answer some ridiculous question that you can't answer. I can't wait till tomorrow if they try asking me about that, because I'm going to totally go in there and be like, "John
no?
was
You
sitting
could,
right there."
but little bit, little bit of devil's advocate. You can maybe understand why she didn't know what that was because number one, it was fucking common sense.
Right.
Number two, it was a legitimate response from a fucking trained expert. And number three, people spend too much fucking time on social media and just think they should always be appeased or ban and block.
Immediately.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, yeah, that's she probably walked away and shook both her fists at the sky, like, why does
as
no
she
one listen to me?
as she went to walk out the store, I grabbed the bucket that I presumed to try sharing it with her or whatever, and I walked up to her again and I said, "This is what I would suggest. That still shows the block." And I said, "Yeah, I know, but there's nothing else I can do for you. That's what I'd
Oh,
totally suggest." And she says, "Well, I looked on the internet and it gave me a couple of things in it." And I kind of I'm like,
mm,
"You have a good day, ma'am." And I walked
yeah,
away from that because
enjoy
I'm
your
like,
YouTube.
"All right, you go enjoy your fucking AI that's gonna lie to you and ruin your cinder block. Go ahead."
Let me man explain this one more time.
I just
Back
fucking
out
I'm
at
like,
the car park.
right? I'm just like, what a great day.
Well, you know what? It definitely makes your job worth going into when you know you've got little moments like that in your day. You know, it'd be nothing worse than just going through your day and ringing checks. You need stuff like that just to not keep you on your toes, but just to keep your own sort of sense of legitimacy. But it's like, yep, that's why I'm here. Thank you, lady. You've made my day.
Well, see, the fun one is even if my managers come at me with any reason that she seemed to be right, my coworker was literally sitting right there and will vouch for me because she's like, "What the fuck was that?" So I'm like, yeah, go ask him. Go ask him what exactly happened. He'll tell you. He'll tell you that I was legitimately doing my job, and he was talking to her. She walked up to the counter to talk to him, not me. She was trying to talk to him at first. I just so happened to overhear the conversation, so then I was trying to assist, as he didn't know what he was doing. I can't wait till tomorrow's conversation if it occurs. Just can't. It'd be glorious.
Fly in the wall time. Well, you're loving this one. This is better than reality TV.
As
Can't can't make it
as
up.
the you really can't. And as the manager, the
No.
manager knows that I do my job, and she knows that I've been teaching this guy to make sure that he gets his job done right, so that way I don't
Yeah.
have to try so hard during my half of the week. I can actually like
Yeah.
rely on him to do his part.
Delegate.
It's
Whoa.
right. We can actually kind of do that again. It's great. It feels comfortable to be able to do something like that and be like, I'm going to do this. You do that. This is what will happen on these days. We'll actually get things done properly. We'll have some
This,
fun. We get to hang
this,
out each other on Wednesdays. High five. I
this
mean,
sounds so cuddly and together and like group like, and it just feels nice.
like family.
Oh, remember those days, man. Right, hold on. What is it? Staff time out. Staff
No.
time out.
Wait a minute. What days? What days am I supposed to remember?
Yeah, but what was it you asked me to do about that thing? What day was that again? And right, yep, come here. Put your head down. What? Just put your head down. Slap doesn't hurt as much. You're going to slap me? Yeah, it's for your own good. You know that. Just take the pain. Oh my lord! Violence is never the answer. Only sometimes the solution.
Oh, what's
Can I ask you a
that?
question?
Yeah.
Next. No, I was being rhetorical.
Oh,
Speaking in the third person.
oh,
You know that guy.
I was hoping for an actual question. This is the stuff that really gets me. It's like I can't wait to listen to this thing. This thing's like an hour and 5 minutes long. It says it says who were the knights of the Golden Circle, the secret order that wanted an empire of slavery, and it's got like the whole Caribbean sea with the West Indies and the Central America and all the southern part of America, or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay. Southern expansion is history. Let's go. Let's see where they're really leaning this toward.
That's the profit sharing trade route for slavery. Hey, you guys want a bit of this? Would you like some of this? Hey, let's go, man. And you like rum, right? Well, let's go. Nico Flo was asking earlier on in chat, saying, "I hope there's no, I hope there's no, not any strategic sites in Scotland." And I was like, sort of like replying to him, Scotland is full of nuclear weapons and nuclear sites and so much ammunition, it's fucking unreal. You know, that Scotland has been designated. You know that Article 5 thing? When Scotland are signed in to the top of the mountain that if anything did happen against a European nation, that Article 5 could be triggered, is from Scotland. Like, if there's any place that's going to be hit first, it's Scotland.
What the? I can hear my child. Why is he still up?
Mm-hmm.
It's literally after 10 o'clock at night. Should have been in bed a couple hours ago.
Yeah, we never get past 8 or 9 o'clock, did we? It was just not a thing.
No,
Only when the occasion.
it was like 8 o'clock, well, 8:30, 9 o'clock during the summer or whatever, because summertime is summertime. You'd wait for it to not be light outside.
Exactly.
Right? So then if winter time, I mean 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, you're in bed. I was a little I was one of those kids that was I was put in this place of a bed with bunk beds. Bunk beds. My older brother was in the bunk. My
Weed
older
bump.
brother was Yeah, my older brother was in the bunk above me, and I was in the bottom one. And right perfectly, it was like the beds are bumped up against the wall, and then next to that would have been like the entryway to the living room. My parents always put the TV across the room. I've watched so much Johnny Carson as a kid.
Right, you're bringing back so many memories. Definitely had the bunk bed. Can remember at one point, yeah, just fucking about because we were on bunk beds and stuff, and then my dad coming in shouting, "You guys should be sleeping," and me saying, "Oh, the reason we can't get to sleep is it's still light outside." And then him coming in with this really fucking heavy blanket and putting it over the curtains and just said good night and slammed the door. And then right above our bedroom also, it was like a glass panel at the top that led through the hallway into the living room, and you could just see the flickering and the TV. And it was like just that way you are as a child. You're sort of like the reason that you were given you couldn't get to sleep because it was still bright outside, but you'd be fixated on this little glass panel. And then my brother from underneath would push up my bed, and then I would hit him with a pillow, and a bit of chaos would happen. And then my dad would come back in and say, "I told you guys to be sleeping." So, I
Go to sleep.
can't get to sleep because the little glass panel above the bedroom door, the hallway, didn't even manage to get the words out. Here he came with duct tape or some sort of gaffer tape. And like, I can remember for 6, 7 years of our young life, that glass panel had tape all over it. Sleep. Run out of excuses. Hmm. Ah, the good old days. But yeah, 8:30, 9 o'clock, lights out.
Right? I mean,
Yeah, because it was always that extra grumpy stuff in the morning, and it was just like, yeah, that's because you're not getting to sleep till fucking 10 and 11 o'clock. No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Yes, it is.
right? Because
No,
as a
no.
child, you need more. You need like
No, we
8
used
to
to we,
12.
we used to get we used to get well. Could we not maybe just go to bed an hour later? So that no, and then it would be just that reverse psychology shit that always seemed to work with another generation. Like, no, maybe you should go to bed earlier. But oh no, it's okay. 8 o'clock's good. you know. But still,
I
we're rewarded every now and again if there's a good movie on or something happening. It's like, hey, look, you guys can stay up late tonight.
And that's what I think it was. But as I'm recollecting or whatever, is she went ahead and she told them that they would watch a movie tonight or whatever. So they watched something and it must have just like wrapped up. So they came out to get ready for bed. I'm surprised he stayed up through all that. Sometimes he falls asleep on those. It must have been a good movie. This kid's smart. He'd look at me. He's like, "Dad." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "What's the country that has been totally surrounded by South Africa, and it's not Eswatini, it's the other one." And like, is that the Estado or whatever? Estado? And he's like, "Oh, that's one of the options." I'm like, "Can you see?" Because he has a map out in the hallway. I'm like, "Can you see it on your map?" He says, "No, I can't see it." So I'm like, "Here, I'll pull it up on the computer for you." I pull up South Africa map or whatever and kind of blow it up for him so you can see Eswatini and Ostolo or whatever. And he's like, yeah, that one. It's the Ostolo. And he's like, that's a weird, weird country. It's totally surrounded by another country.
Swatini.
He's 6. He's
Yeah, I know.
6. And he's sitting there, he's like, oh, it's a cool country. It's totally surrounded by another one. Like,
Sometimes the fruit doesn't fall too far from the tree.
no, I mean,
Yeah, it's going to be a thing. You know that.
sometimes it falls very, very far.
You better get back in your bed now. Stop me rolling down that hill and away up the valley. Come on, Apple. Bedtime.
Think the Russians would make an example of London, Berlin, and Paris. Maybe Poland first. The Scots are subjects to England mostly. So I mean, when it comes to the Russians and what they really seriously look like they're trying to do currently, when you look at it, because they've stationed themselves, the ones that are reported stationed up in by Norway or whatever, up in the
Yeah,
upper gap, right?
yeah.
So then, if they've stationed themselves up on that upper gap, what does that do? What does that do for the rest of us? Well, I mean, they know that their range is quite significant. They've
Exactly.
threatened, they've threatened already several times to go
Excuse me.
ahead and hit Germany and the UK.
And the Netherlands. Because Rut is so behind with the rent. Mr. Rutter, if you're out there, answer
I
your
mean,
email.
why just hit the Netherlands for that? You should hit Belgium for that.
Because the Netherlands are so.
Hmm?
Yeah, sometimes, sometimes self-censoring is a sense of preservation. I'm really proud of myself sometimes. I don't big myself up enough. Very shy guy. Cheers.
This
The Chinese. Oh, yeah. Well went. That guy over there. Well said. Yeah. What
well
about the Chinese?
said. Well done. um,
The voice is in my head. Boom, 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 boom. Such a beautiful marketplace to be involved in at the moment. Everybody's reaching round so well, effortlessly. All these sort of like ceasefires, tariffs, sanctions. To think that's even a narrative that is created that anybody truly believes shows you how sort of like psychologically killed many are.
Russians would choose to decapitate some of the demons that rule us. I mean,
You bust.
Yeah, maybe Russia seems to like have this religious war that they're fighting.
Forever and ever and ever. It's never going to end, you would imagine. Not until the end.
I mean, do you hope that it would end? But
Not, but it doesn't say that in the book. The book say it ain't going to end. It's only ever get worse. Something very interesting I was reading the other day in the Bible, where when Jesus gets to talking about the end of times, the 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 first topic that he brings up when he's discussing this is the deception part, is the false prophets, is those who project themselves in a position of power but take on this sort of spiritual religious sense of their conquests, like Zionism and this plastic Christianism that is going about at the moment. where everybody speaks so highly about God, but yet in the meantime, this is Jesus that tells us this. These false prophets, which we now know that the prophecy has been unveiled. If anybody can't see that, then maybe they should lift their own veil. It's difficult, mate. See, for me, sort of like socially and psychologically settle for a left or right in a political sense. It's difficult for not like yourself though, because you can be very sort of if something needs called out, you can call it out. But it's difficult for so many when they're steeped in a belief and ideology to back out of that. Because you've convinced yourself of a certain person who's projected you into this. You know what? Yeah, that sounds like a good guy, or that sounds like a good gal, and yeah, I'm going to go for this, and yeah, that's it. I'm planting my flag. Very difficult to pull that flag back up again. You've made your position clear. You'll then need to maybe speak to your friends and family and your social group and be like, you know what? Ain't too sure about this now. What the fuck are you talking about? You weren't speaking like that 2 years ago. Difficult. But when you see this repetitive sort of like onward going system of zero integrity to maximize profits across the whole planet or around the planet, wherever you shapist might be, uh, same old story, man. Nothing's really changing, and nothing gets done, like you said. Nothing's getting done about any of this stuff that they speak about. Nothing's
Never
getting done.
does.
No, but it keeps us actively involved, and yep, that's my side that's standing up for justice, but no justice gets done. Okay. Plant the seeds.
Oh, so early. Oh, it's super late last night.
Yeah, you were a bit later, weren't you?
I was. Because I was like, I had a bunch of stuff that I wanted to do. Like,
You
legit,
said 250.
legit took my. No, that wasn't the 250. It was something else.
What was it?
That I never made it through the whole 250. I think I made it through the first like 40.
And then sort of jumped to 80, 90, 120.
No,
Just
I petered out. Like my body petered out to the point where I'm like too much intake must rest.
yeah, because it's a long day, and then to jump in and to start doing this, it's a long day as it is. So yeah, man, understandable. It's not like most of us coasters that can just like take our time and like wait until we're ready. You know, you're fucking working hard at it, mate. So yeah, understandable.
Need some donations. Go straight to the PayPal. That's what I need.
I might be able to donate soon.
Need some things.
I'm still waiting for the Scottish side of my social disability benefits to kick in since fucking March the 12th. I shit you not. What the fuck? And the last time I've called them, they just said to me, you just need to be a little bit more patient. They don't fucking say that to me again. Say that word to me again. Just a weird thing about Rumble is that any time I've recently or in the past tried to Rumble rant or donate or whatever, it's been stopping at doing it. I don't know what that is. Be
I've been
interesting to find out if there's anybody else in the UK that's finding difficulty like posting any subscriptions or
kind of
anybody Rumble rant.
I kind of ran into a thing, and I've run into it now a couple times. This thing was put all the way back in the 18th of May. This is insulin expert Dr. David Unwin has put 157 patents into drug-free type 2 diabetes remission using diet alone. He
How do we
reveals
know
the
that then?
hidden teaspoon of sugar in your everyday food, the link between sugar and cancer, and why the average person will spend 23 years of their life in poor health. Dr. David Unwin is an NHS GP with over 40 years of general practice, known for his expertise in reversing type 2 diabetes through dietary changes. He is named NHS Inventor of the Year in 2016 and is co-author to the most read paper of the BMJ Open on reversing type 2 diabetes through low carbohydrate diet. The teaspoon of sugar test that exposes the hidden glucose in your food. That's a weird one. I'd like to really seriously hear what this is. It goes on for 2 hours and 9 minutes with the Diary of a CEO, dude.
Right, right. So how do we've spoke about it, I'm sure. How do we know that name? At some point, his name's definitely come up. It was because of the unwin part of his name also that we had fun with. Uh,
Did we watch this guy at one other time? He does the string test
I'm
with the Diary of a CEO, dude.
just
You know, the
trying to
string
remember
test.
what that could have been.
The string test was the string that was from tip to finger of to the other tip of the finger with your arm stretched wide out. You take it and wrap it around your stomach, from around your waist or whatever, and that string should touch itself.
As long as a piece of string.
That seriously, that string that's if it's like if you put your arm
Yeah.
straight out, that string's you think about it, that's a pretty long string that should be able to
Excuse me.
wrap around you and like I think that's what it was. Was that one? It was that long? Maybe I'm wrong because I mean that seems like that would be like the height of your body. You'd think that would be a long way. Maybe it was just half of. Maybe it was just your arm, one arm or something. I gotta watch the thing that they do because I'll totally take the string test and I'll legit do it right here on camera. I'll do the string test. I'll figure out how to do it, and I'll prove that I can actually do that because I did this diet straight out, took out all the garbage.
And when I think I definitely could be wrong here. For some reason, there's a light flashing talking about that they are also pharmaceutical company. Or was it ungood?
I like really seriously need to delve into this thing or whatever. This might happen sooner than later. This thing it says is 2 hours and 9 minutes long. At an hour 52:26, this is the magnesium story that will change how you think. You know what? I updated my diet over the last few weeks with peas because there's a protein in peas. They're a little sweet, but when it comes down to it, they're really closely resemble the lentil. And lentils are very, very good for your legs.
Yeah.
I've really seriously like gone to the point where like most of my issues with my legs have gone away in the last 3 weeks. Like I don't feel most of those things. I'm like, this is freaking great. I'm loving eating peas with an avocado and an egg that mixed
Well,
together. Fucking delicious, dude.
I think as we go, as we learn, as we share, we should always be updating our diet and sliding a little thing into it just to supplement and make us stronger. I'd mentioned to you that I had to go to the local health centre here a couple of days ago. It was only to sign some forms, but I was loaded with the cold or the flu or whatever. And as soon as they heard me, they just said, "Have you got a virus?" I was like, "Yep, you need to put this mask on."
Oh
Right,
no.
okay. Hey, I had to do what I had to do, man. So I was like, put this
Right.
fucking paper mask on, and I get to see the GP, and they're saying, "Oh, they're saying we can give you a prescription for antibiotics if you like." I said, "No, it's okay. I've got my own." And she said, "You've got your own." I said, "What do you mean you've got your own? You're ordering antibiotics online?" I was like, "No, I make soup." And I could
Like
just see,
own soup.
I could just,
Right.
I could just see her looking at me like bad patient, you know. I'm
This
definitely coming
guy's
through
healthy.
healthy ill, but I just seen her sort of like looking at me like, I mean, no sale, ka-ching. Uh, and that the soup that I did make has definitely got me through the temperature side, sore throat side. Still lots of gunk coming out my brain, but it's definitely changing colour. It's at the end. The immune system's like, I got you. Uh, but it only is ever, as you know, you need to be thinking good, you need to be exercising, and you need to be eating good. Trifactor of a well-being, and that needs to be consistent every single day for the rest of your existence. Amen. And avocado butter is my recent introduction to diet, and it's delicious. Also, it's non-salted, and it's just beautiful.
I
And it
use a
comes in a
lot of
little.
avocado oil. I get it.
Well, I couldn't find any
Like,
avocado oil. I'm using sesame oil at the moment instead of the virgin
sure,
oil.
sure. The sesame will give you that high heat that you need.
Exactly, man. But just what you're talking about the lentils, it's like just so surprising. A lot of these natural beets and beans, how much protein and nutrition you're just getting out of. Yeah, we're so far away from vegan. It's like we're real men, you know. But there's such a great mix in all the foods to have a fantastic supplemented diet to let the body do its own work. Does it mean that you're not going to get ill? No, you're still going to get ill. It just means that you're going to be able to fight it in a more healthier stance than taking any sort of like a pharmacology from the blood sucking wealth before health system. You'll need to put a mask on.
Hilarious.
Oh, really? But hey, yeah. Some people
But
are just.
I mean, I get it. You just never know. Don't get everybody else sick. Keep the sickness to yourself and get worse.
Have you ever had because of my age, also, I suppose, don't feel it, but anyway. So have you had your flu shot and have you had any sort of like supplementary immune system boosters? No, I definitely have not. I don't need any more symptomatic effects of my own sort of like asymmetric psychology.
This new guy, he's seen my fatigue bar at work. Took like 5 paint sticks, like 5-gallon paint sticks or longer, and taped them together and you stand on them, whatever, and you kind of stretch your calf, stretch your heel type situation. And he was like, "Oh." And I explained that and what I was doing, and he's like, "Oh, I see what you're doing." I'm like, "Right, it's eases that fatigue." He's like, caught him stepping on it. I said, "You can step on it as much as you want." I said, "But I'm going to tell you right now, it's like exercising. Once you start doing something like that or whatever, you'll notice things."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, I figured." I'm like, "Okay, just as long as when you realize that when all of a sudden, if you're going to be standing on that thing, that your body decides to do something that you're not ready for it to do, and that stinks really, really bad, that's your body going into like a dump mode where it's gonna go ahead and like dump all the liquid that it's been storing." And he's like, "Oh, oh," he says, "Yeah, I've done that before." Like, he's like, "That'll do that?" Like, yeah, the little bar will do that. You don't need a lot to really seriously activate your
No.
legs to enough to get
No.
your body to, I said, "I stand it on it every day." I said, "It doesn't bug me. It doesn't change anything for me, but keep things active and moving." And he's like, "Oh." I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like,
I've
"Be
seen
careful
some.
if you're gonna be standing on that thing." I said, "The last guy that was there was standing on it, and he come walk up to me after he was standing on it for half a day, and he's like, 'I don't feel right.'" I'm like, "Yeah, you kind of stink, huh?" He's like, "Yeah, how do you what, huh?" He explained it to him, and he was like, "Oh, I didn't know that it would happen until I standing on that." I'm like,
Seen some good advice from a fitness coach. I was listening to something a couple of days ago, and the conversation back and forward with someone was that they were saying not only did they have a big family and a busy day, they didn't really find any place that they could actually fit a 30-minute workout. And yeah, you know what? Sometimes that can definitely seem like that. But the guy just said 2 times. And they were like, what do you mean? He said, whatever you're doing, do it 2 times. Like if you need to stand up, sit down, stand back up again. If you need to reach down for the potatoes out the cupboard, pick them up, put them down, pick them up. Just do start to do things 2 times. If you're stretching for something, go back the way and stretch again. He says, do it once for the family and do it once for yourself. So if your day is so busy, work out with your day. Talking about working out, I'm going to smoke something outside. I'll be right back, brother.
I was freaking warm at work today. It was like super warm because of, doing things, moving things around, and dude's like trying to learn how to do this stuff, and he's like dripping sweat.
So I need to ask you now, because that's just happened again to me. Do you get, I don't know, is there an official name for this? Is it maybe even earphone ear? I thought I had earphones in there, and I did. You feel as if you've always got your earphone in. When I went to my bed last,
That's the chemical that they put in there that's actually intended to actually give you. You and I might be to the
no,
point where we're all right because we don't sit there and mess around with all the chemicals and sugars and things. Those that kind
no,
of mess around with the chemicals and sugars and things that like to consume all those. There's a chemical in your earbuds, and every single brand they tried every single one of them. I read this thing. It's a Verge article. Gives off the wrong type of like hormone or whatever into your system that makes you feel little less
what,
than normal.
what the fuck? Last
Yeah,
night when
what
I
the
went,
fuck?
I was, brother, when I eventually went to put my head on the pillow last night, it came into my head, fuck, I didn't take my earphones out. And I went to take them out and they were out. And I was like, what the fuck? Both ears felt like I still had my buds in. I was like, okay, that's maybe just because I've had my buds in quite a lot.
I
Right, I'm
saw
going to
that
put this
article.
bud.
I'll go find
I'm
that
going to
article and throw it at you.
right. I'm going to put this in back in. I'm just going to smoke this outside. Be right back. I'll be listening.
He's like, fuck, what? You gonna find the article? I'll go find it. I'll go find it. I'll read it real quick
Yes,
if I
yes,
can
good
find it.
idea. Yeah, man.
Because I mean, it's a good listen. It's important to understand what you're putting in your ears. Of all the things, I still haven't get. I have to get myself a shower head. I gotta give myself a shower head that's filtered or whatever. Because I'm like, it said something to the wife, and she's like, "Are you kidding me?" I'm like, "Nope. Next shower head's a filtered one." She's like, "All right, I guess." I'm like, "No, you're gonna like it." And she's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "You're gonna like it because it's gonna help with the itching and things and all the other." What she goes, "Oh, I don't really itch that much." I'm like, "That much at all?" And she's like, "You think so?" I'm like, "Yep, yep. We'll take the plastic out of her water, and you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised what will happen when all those things and you get something good on your body. What really happens? What our hair will thicken out to and feel like when it has uh, proper clean water as opposed to whatever this city water that we're filtering it to drink it, but then we're just dumping it on our bodies like it's nothing. It's strange. Kids who go to the gym instead of hoe the garden will not be as healthy. I mean, I was the kid that didn't go to the gym. I didn't really hoe the garden either. That wasn't something that was of interest. I was too busy trying to find something to do, like the next thing to do, what to do, how to do. I mean, I was just always wanting to do more. Never did anything like specific. It's like, I don't know. It's kind of strange until I started doing this stuff. It was I'm like, I settled down. I settled down. My wife's like, what? I'm like, yeah, I'm not running around the streets doing all this stupid shit anymore. So I mean, that article, what was it? It was on the Verge. Where's their search thing? Why don't they have a search bar? Ah, they do. There it is. Search bar. Go. Um, earbuds. Earbuds. Plastic. This one. European retailers yank popular headphones after study reports trace amounts of hormone disrupting chemicals. A study of dozens of headphones found trace amounts of harmful chemicals in all of them, but manufacturers say they're following the rules. Some European retailers have stopped selling certain headphones after the EU funded study found that they contained hormone disrupting chemicals. The study included leading brands such as Apple, Beats, Samsung, Bose, JBL, Sennheiser, like really top line expensive ones. Retailer BOL.com, Coolblue, and Media Market didn't respond to inquiries from The Verge about headphones they polled, but local news outlets report that they're among the sellers that have decided to yank some of the worst scoring models of off the market. The study authors analyzed 81 different types of headphones and found that all of them contained at least traces traces of harmful chemicals, including bisphenols, phet- phthalates, PHTHALATES, and flame retardants. These are endocrine disrupting chemicals linked to reproductive health issues, neurobehavior problems, and other health risks. It's literally sitting in your brain, leading to endocrine disrupting possibilities of neurobehavior. You're like, what the fuck? Cannon string? I know, right? He's ripping his earbuds out of his ears. She's like, what the fuck are these? And while the chemicals are found in low concentrations with prevalence, and the headphone study shows how widespread the overlooked their use can be. It also raises questions about the cumulative toll products laced with these substances might take on more vulnerable individuals, including children, teens, and pregnant people. Motherfucking article. I went off of it last time that I read it too, because it says pregnant people. Only women can get pregnant. It's how it works. There's only two genders. Only two pregnant people. Come on, Verge. You're trying to tell me about these things that are in these headphones, and you're going ahead and you're still using irrelevant language. Pregnant people. We really think this systemic approach in banning and phasing out the most harmful chemicals, which have generational effects, as the way forward, says Carolina Brobkova, a campaign manager on toxic chemicals in the consumer products at the Czech nonprofit Arnika, who co-authored the report. Brobkova and her colleagues produced the report as part of Tox Free Life for all project along with four other consumer advocacy groups based in the Czech Republic, Slovenia, Hungary, and Austria. The project has received roughly €2 million grant from the EU. To conduct this study, the researchers disassembled the headphones to collect 180 samples of hard and soft plastics from products marketed for adults, teens, and children. A lab, a lab analyzed the samples to look at the hormone disrupting chemicals in products made by more than 50 different brands. They have each set a they gave each set of headphones 3 scores for parts of touch uh, that touch the skin, parts not touching the skin, and the total product evaluation. For each category, the headphones were rated either green for lowest risk, yellow for being legally compliant but exceeding stricter voluntary limits, and red for high concern. Samples were non compliant with legal limits and contained multiple hazard substances got a red rating, but the report doesn't disclose exact numbers on how much of each substance was found in each sample. Only the chemicals were identified. Apple's ear Apple's AirPods Pro 2 and JBL's Tune 720 BT received green ratings across the board, for example, but there were also varied results between individual products tested that were made by the same brand. JBL's Wave Beam and JR310BT Bluetooth, which are headphones for kids, both got red scores for parts not touching the skin and in total product evaluation. HP's HyperX Cloud 3 gaming headset and Razer's Kraken V3, meanwhile, both scored red across all 3 categories. There's a lot of bullshit in the market, and you need to pay attention to what the fuck you're doing. If you're really seriously amped up, hyped up, and you're sitting there thinking, man, this kid that I got and feeding high amounts of sugar to, he's just so wound bound and you can't contain him. He's always got earbuds in. There might be something else that you need to pay attention to. Got to do something about this. Can't have it. Uh oh. Carbon filter earbuds. I don't know. I don't know what we need to do. But there you go. You got something. You got something. I hope that helped. I hope that helped everybody if that was listening that didn't hear that one last time. That was all the way back in March. So enough has happened since March. Wax filled earbuds. Yeah, right. Because how many people clean their earbuds on a daily? I mean, I do, but it's because I know that I'm sitting at this computer all the time. I literally take my earbuds out on a regular basis. I'll leave one out. I'll go and I'll clean them out, make sure everything's, to the point, whatever. And I'll leave one out. I'll leave one out and I'll just talk out of the other. Eventually, go flip it the other way around. Go stick this one and pull the other one out. Because it's not safe. It's not safe for you, but got to do what you got to do. Candace Owens actually run into an issue that um they had to actually do some kind of surgery or whatever to remove blocked earwax because it was hurting her. Couldn't imagine having to have surgery for earwax. Why? Well, she's a podcaster and she wears earbuds all the time. Could you imagine? Welcome back. It's over. Ice Age is coming sooner than we thought. Ooh. European Ice Age is coming sooner than we thought. They're
what,
sh they're
what the
showing
fuck?
they're showing a big cold spot just below the GIUK.
What the fuck are they talking about? It's always cold here. It's like global warming. Send us some of that. Now they're saying that, oh, the ice age is coming. Just stop it, man. No, see, hold on. See, talking about just what you were talking about. Definitely, it's like, yeah, we're just uh, our reflex, reactionary intent now are like, I hear something from you, you hear something from me, we hear something from anybody else that's going to add to a beneficial health stance. You can't leave that stone unturned any longer. Even if it's like, you know what, I'll need to do something about that. Eventually you do, because you're just in that way of thinking now. And someone said wax earbuds. That possibly could be a thing. Carbon filtered earbuds. I don't know if that is a thing. I just know that carbon is the great detoxifier at the moment. Uh, but without a doubt, we'll probably find out. Yeah, you can definitely get earbuds that don't have all these fucking insipid fucking plastics in them, like $2,500 or something. Uh, but it's like, yeah, if they can't get you on the swings, they're going to get you on the roundabouts. A little saying here in the UK. But it's like, what the fuck, you know? And it's like, how does this even pass fucking manufacturing and health safety in the first place? Oh, that's right. Sponsored by Pfizer, sponsored by the CDC, minimal use is okay. Well, everybody knows we're wearing these things fucking constantly. Everybody's listening to work and at their break or once they're getting home. We've all got these things in. And it can explain a lot now also for me personally. When I start to think, what could that maybe have been and what could this be or whatever? Well, fucking no wonder. I've got fucking poison in my ears. And why did I not even think about it? I don't know. Maybe because I'm thinking about so many other fucking things. But it was a thing last night. I so felt them in my ears. Went to take them out and they were out. And I was like, oh, honey, it's Koolfrogg. Do you get earphone ear? But it ain't earphone ear. It's fucking toxifying that part of your body. That's why I still fucking felt like I had them in. Stop swearing, Scotsman. That's enough. I've got an appointment this morning. They're going to get both barrels.
Um, there seems to be some versions of either like lambskin, uh, hemp, or wood of sorts that you can actually get. But yeah, anywhere between like 180 and $1,500.
Well, hemp makes a lot of sense. Lambskin, I'm sure there'll be a vegan alternative
And
for
that could
anybody
have
stuck.
just have been like just the pads were made from lambskin or something or whatever, just to whatever.
just to give them that comfortable feel. You're like, oh, I love your earbuds. Oh, yeah, they're lambskin. Ooh, you monster. Yeah.
Gar.
I'm on lists somewhere. Alphabetical order. How could you? Why don't you? Oh, wow, man. Hey, Sertorius. Sertorius.
Notorious. A corkscrew works. Careful. Careful what you recommend to the masses. Some take those things literal.
Yeah, don't try
And
this at home. Oh, I've got one of those corkscrews. Let me try that. Call 911. What's your emergency? Hello? Hello? Yeah, 911. What's your emergency? Hello? There's no one there, man.
Jeez.
No, that's that, man. That's top of the list for me. There's other things I've been managing, but I'll need to research that today. Avocado butter and new earbuds. That'll be my my June sorted.
Um, $50 at the Walmart, usually 54. A symphonized MFI certified earbuds, Lightning compatible with iPhone. Lightning, so it's got that little white tip on it or whatever
Okay.
for iPhone. It's like I needed an adapter because I don't use products.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, $50. Wood, wood.
Not right now. What I was going to say, what about the microphones also?
I
You know,
mean,
because everything's yeah, exactly.
like
I haven't been thinking.
you started thinking about the plastics and stuff or whatever, and I'm like my keyboard and my mouse are just that. I
Like,
mean, what do you?
exactly as well. It's like, what the fuck? It's like we're surrounded by this shit. What are we going to do? Fucking tribal drums? Smoke, smoke signals. Hold on. Wait a minute. Koolfrogg just sent another message. What does it say? Don't know. But you need to
I
reply to him. Yeah.
ran into another guy today looking at this damn sign or whatever in my store. And he looks at it and just sitting there staring at it, and it's it's the landscape block. It's the landscape block, and of course nobody's like looking at him to try to answer him or help him at any rate. Because why? They didn't listen to me when I told them what it was, and they're like, it's just the acrylic acetate, whatever. So it's like a water based chemical that would harden eventually, like paint. But
Yeah.
if you before adding the chemicals to make paint, before adding the chemicals to make glue, or before the chemicals to make like a PVC pipe, it's all the same thing, right? And it's in this bucket or this thing for landscape. They go and you spray it on the ground to lock your rocks and your wood chips and things from blowing away.
You can't make this shit up, mate. There needs to be that sort of like deep underground fuck up bunker where it's like, yeah, if we're going to be producing any sort of like products and stuff like that, remember we need to have the acetone. Remember we need to have all the dangerous chemicals within this because we can't have a healthy society, man.
I
That wouldn't
couldn't
be pain in the
imagine
butt.
trying to clean that up.
No.
Like somebody putting this stuff down, and because it's now like a paint is like solution or whatever that you just went over the top of this with, and it hardened into like a shell to stop things from growing through. Well, how does it stay clean?
Well, it's these
You'd
things that are
have to
thrown out.
continuously spray it off on a regular basis to keep it clean.
A lot of these things now definitely do have the lifetime guarantee. It's like this is going to last forever, and you're like, I was quite happy buying a new light bulb.
I mean, most
I didn't.
regular paints and glues and things. I mean, glues are like because they're usually contained and harnessed into a place where they're not going to get separated. Um, Paints on walls usually last between 5 and 15 years. So I mean, that's where I'm like maybe 5 years. You get maybe 5 years out of that before the elements would actually start breaking some of that down.
Why is your paint lasting forever? Little dash of acetone.
Titanium dioxide.
So I thought you knew that.
The
Oh, you
titanium
got it.
dioxide. The titanium dioxide is the one that turns the white things white. Strips the durum from the wheat to make the enriched wheat flour.
Little dash of uranium. Little
Just
dash of acetone.
things.
You may die sooner. That's why they say it will last forever. What they mean is it will fucking outlast you. Lifetime guarantee. Uh-oh.
Would iPod addicts get brain implants? It- There's no brain there already. They're iPod users.
That's really quite disappointed me, though, in a way, because I really thought that I've been working out on the neuroplasticity and take so many mushrooms in a micro, mega, and tera dose that I've probably only ever just balanced myself out. I've only just been fighting against the tide when it comes to this non-recognition of the amount of plastics that have been seeping into my body. And even though, yeah, I can tick off a lot of good things I've been doing with my health, the water filters, all that sort of stuff, but then even just watching what sort of material your shoes are made of and the soles are made of and the clothes that you're wearing and fucking hell, does this stuff ever stop? No, it doesn't. And I ain't an apathy builder, and it's just like the list is never ending. But it doesn't mean to say that you can't try to find another product that is helping along the lines of ticking another thing off the box. Well, you ain't got anything in my ears. You ain't getting anything in my clothes. You're not getting anything in my diet. You ain't stopped me from thinking good. And I'm always going to be exercising. It's always just watching round the corner for the next thing, I suppose. Stop touching plastic. I'm leaning on the windowsill. Right? I'm leaning on the windowsill and I'm like very much like plastic. Never know why McMonsterly sits half naked. We got you, brother. we know where you're coming from. We maybe need to just start joining them, mate. Just be like that. Yeah, no acrylic on me. Wow. No stone unturned. And we're fucking carrying about all that ready-made plastic in our pockets, back pockets also, in our wallets and shit. I know you can get
Dude,
these,
my
mate. I know.
uniform is a motherfucking polyester shirt. I literally wear a t-shirt underneath it
Yeah.
on a regular basis, and they're like, "You wear two shirts all the time?" I'm like, yeah. My wife, why do you wear two shirts? Because I don't want to wear a polyester shirt on my skin. She's like, oh.
And Polly and Esther, if you're listening, go fuck yourself.
I mean, you know how they make polyester shirt, right?
Oh yeah, man.
You've you've seen the compression that they use with water to actually make this
Mate,
material turn into this thing.
I
You
just
seen
seen the
this?
other day. Mate, I just seen the other day. There's actually on a one. What was it? 1/10,000th of a droplet in Coca Cola. There's polyester in Coca Cola. Why is it even part of the 1/10,000th? And then they looked at Red Bull, and then they looked at water. These microplastics and polyesters are through all our foods. Definitely in the little capsule that's within the medication that our soul sucking health system gives us as the pharmaceuticals.
Because of my kick on certain plastics. My
No doubt.
wife's gotten into a kick of plastics. Like
Good.
like most of the vessels, containers, whatever around here, they're all gone to glass. Every single last one of them gone to some form of glass container. She's like, I like it. I'm liking it. It's good. She got Tadpole a couple small little drinking glasses. They're glass ones. Like I'll get him a copper one here eventually.
I'm going to get copper also. It's just, yeah, once the check comes in, I'm getting copper also. There's a few things on my list that headphones have now just been added to. So yeah, man. Wow.
I'm gonna need donations for headphones because holy, there's no way.
What about if I donate to you and then you can donate to me? Would that work?
We buy each other a pair of headphones.
But I can't afford them myself, but I can maybe help you. But you can help, but you can maybe. Yeah, so I don't know. Just yeah, need a headphone jar.
We would end up spending 3 times the amount of money after doing that or whatever, just to, like, get each other off the money that we
Beyond
need to do so. Yeah,
beyond caring.
because 'Cause you'd have
What
to
what I
pay
mean,
Rumble and or PayPal at the same time.
I
Fuckers.
think that's a way that I'll be able to throw money at you is through PayPal. As I said to you, that Rumble's messing about, saying I'm not recognised, and even though that I've changed addresses and changed phone numbers and give them all my bank details, it still won't process any gifts or subscriptions or donations or Rumble rants. And yeah, it wouldn't let me the other morning where I didn't come in, wouldn't let me again comment on your YouTube live. So I just left a comment in the comment section. That was allowed. It's
Yeah,
coming up on the
nobody's on the YouTube side.
it's
Not
coming up on the YouTube that I'm making too many comments. I'm like, what the fuck? I haven't even made a comment yet. What are you talking about? Your mother's 406 years old. Oh, right, sorry. Your mother's side of Scott living in Massachusetts for 406 years. Yeah, man. Those roots run deep. That's for sure.
Not sure what I'm gonna be doing tomorrow. We'll find out. We'll find out. You just never know what happens from day to day. Because those things that happen, like that explosion today, that was quite amazing to see. Did you see the
Seen
explosion?
that. I seen it. Well, when I seen it at first, I thought it was the uh, the session of explosions that were happening in St. Petersburg, where they were having a. I think there was over 200 leaders or economic leaders in St. Petersburg yesterday for this economic forum that probably a lot of BRICS people that Russia was running. And just when it started, that's when the drones came in. And you can see these drones flying across like real built up areas and stuff. And fair enough, Ukraine are seemingly targeting infrastructure and things. But as it goes, these things cannot always be 100% accurate. They hit a they hit a public bus in St. Petersburg also. Uh, these things are definitely going to happen, man. I know, obviously, as we know, Russia is indiscriminately using drones in all areas in Ukraine.
Let me see here.
Open mic tomorrow, I'm guessing, also.
It's Friday. You know better.
Sort of a jar. A jar. I love that, man. Even a jar.
There's no jar.
As much
I
as there
can't
would
do in
be
a
a jar.
jar.
Yeah,
I'll
I
be at
know.
work.
Just a little bit of nostalgia there. Yeah, man.
Um, Go raid somebody.
Done, son. What are you doing
Go raid
if you haven't done it
somebody.
already?
What you doing?
All the things.
Licking it, flicking it, getting that button
Sterilize. Sterilizing that bitch.
all up in that button. You made
So
us your
child,
friend, huh?
so childish sometimes, man. Stop that.
I mean, it works because everybody else joins in. That's why it's fun. It's fun. You know better. It's good. Makes a giggle.
Talking about flicking it and licking it, have you heard from Faulkner?
No, not since the
Okay.
last time she was here with us.
I know she was sort of like just nailing everything to the mast and stuff and finalising stuff, but I was hoping to catch her at some point with you, just to drop in and say hi, that sort of thing. I'd sent a message on Discord a good few weeks ago, but no reply.
We'll go ahead.
Busy lady, we get it. If you're out there, Bunny, yeah man, get some. Oh, excuse me.
We'll go here. Lick it, flick it, like it, love it. We're over here on Rumble and now the YouTube. Pff, fuck you, YouTube. You fucking piece of shit.
Hey, YouTube, do better.
Can't even get somebody to come and drop in and say hi. How ridiculous is that?
It's just no, it's
Love y'all.
100%. Peace.
What's this? Welcome to New England. Maniacs, massholes, kinetic cunts, New Hampshires, full Monties, and Rhode Skylanders.
Oh man, you ain't alone. This big bit of water that's in between us, it ain't that much of a gap. Yeah, man, yeah, man.
Here's your red. Later.